Morning.
Hey, Peter, good morning. Going live.
Oh, echo.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. Look at us both in red. Are we predicting what the market is going to do today? What are we doing here, Peter?
No, never predict that.
Yes.
No, that's not what I'm going to do.
Absolutely
But
not.
but yeah, good morning. It's yeah, another day here in the world, and yeah, I'm looking at. I hope everybody's. Geez, I hate when armed conflict breaks out in the world,
Mm,
and it's we're watching closely what's happening, of course, over in the Middle East.
yep,
And all sorts of travel advisories came out yesterday, including the area that we as a group are planning to travel to in
that's
Egypt.
right.
So,
Egypt, yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
now Egypt's not directly involved, but indirectly, they're close enough that it's a
they're
concern. It's always a
too close
concern
for
when you get
comfort.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
International travel advisories issued for a country that you're planning to go to. So, got to watch this, see what's going on. And what can you do, right? It's
Yeah.
first world problems. I mean, I'm not in the conflict, so I just hope everybody's safe.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
know some people are not. It's these random missile strikes that are happening that it feels
Yes.
like the existing. They're just like they're just firing at everything. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like a
Oh, you
last
had a
gasp
conversation with the
dying
U.S.
missile.
last week? Here's a missile for you. Like, they have nothing to do with the issue. There's a missile. And that's scary.
That
you
that's the
know?
risk. But we have
Yep.
to remember this whole thing only started a couple of days ago. So in a couple of days, it could very well all be over, right? Like at least
Yeah.
from a big international risk. Obviously, the rebuilding and the restructuring of the country is going to take a long time, as it always does. But who knows how long the actual conflict itself will last? So it's yeah, we got to see
When
what.
is the trip for, Peter? When is the schedule for the trip?
End of I would leave like the 26th of March. So we still have like 3 weeks before we're going. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. Being cautious.
Yeah, no, TGM, yeah, I think it's random, man. You say it's not
Well,
random missile
it,
strikes? I mean, you hit
it seems
Dubai,
to be a combination, right?
right? Because, for example, like, why did you hit Dubai? Dubai had nothing to do with this. You sent a message to their hotel. That's kind of random, I would think, right? So maybe, and again, maybe you might not agree with it, but I think if you're at war with two countries, hit those two countries. Don't hit everybody else around it, right? I mean, it's kind of like logical. So, but I know they try to do it, instill fear into everybody else around the region, and that's not fair to the people not involved. I guess not fair to anybody, right? We don't want to see any loss of lives, period. But
Not cool.
yeah,
Not
not
cool,
cool.
man.
Not cool, exactly. But Peter, by then, I think this will all be calmed down. This should be somewhat diffused. Iran might be out of missiles by then. I think
Well,
so.
yeah,
I think you'll be
never know.
okay.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
I think you'll be okay. All right,
We'll see.
let's let's continue, friends. So let's see here. Gappers List brought to you by tradingterminal.com. We got a couple of things here in the green, got a couple of things in the red. You can see actually many things in the red, unless you're in oil. I think a lot of these companies are somewhat oil related, except for Pinterest. Pinterest is up. That is very weird. Can't wait to dig into that one.
Hmm.
But yeah, let's dive into all that. A lot of oil energy companies. Bad L. Have you seen Bad L this morning? I saw it earlier today, up 100. I'm not sure why it's not on this list, but it's up 134%. So this is another one that, for some reason, this is the one, Peter, that's getting all the attention, like massive
I,
attention. Oh, and look at this. I just saw this. It's actually halted for news. I haven't seen this yet. It was moving
yeah.
earlier when I saw it. Now it's halted
It's
for news. It's very
it's
interesting.
crazy how it's another day here, and like you said, it's up over 100%. I think it's not on our list, probably because the ATR is so low. Keep in mind, this movement is very recent, and the ATR is calculated over 14 days, and because of that, I mean, just 3 days ago, this was a $3 stock 3 days ago. $3 stock that traded with a 15 a 60 cent range from high to low. So yeah, we gotta, this is a Johnny come lately here on the scene. And there's no question it was moving yesterday. We talked about it. It's moving again today, but it could very well be that by tomorrow we never talk about this one again. But right now
Yeah,
it's active, halted for news,
it's
but it's active with already. I mean, look at the 21 million shares
yeah,
traded already this morning. Like this thing's, yeah, it's going a little crazy.
yeah, sure is. We'll get into all of that, friends. But before we do so, Peter, U.S. economic calendar, what we got going on for today?
Yeah, not a lot. In fact, there's nothing scheduled. There's a couple of Fed speakers. I didn't put them on the list. Fed speakers, I've given up. I used to put those on the list, but they don't tend to move the market. Williams is speaking at 9:55. Kashkari speaking at 11:45. I don't think, again, with everything, we were just talking about some of the turmoil. U.S. Fed economic speakers, not what's moving the market right now. So, but there's no scheduled data release on the U.S. markets for today, which is a little rare. Usually we get something every day. We had one last week, and now we've got one today. So that's interesting. That we're soon to be reducing. I don't know the amount of data maybe that's coming out. Maybe not a surprise. There have been a lot of cuts to some of the U.S. Reporting agencies. So, but I feel like we're getting all the base data. Maybe it's just being grouped differently. I'm not sure. But in any event, nothing major today. We're trading. Basically, we're trading wartime markets, and the U.S. in these conflicts has been remarkably resilient. You've got to give the U.S. stock market that. Right or wrong, money is not fleeing the markets like we used to see in days gone by. It feels like now the market has a little more confidence to stay put and see out the conflict. So I guess that's good news, right? You don't actually want these sudden knee-jerk massive moves, although it can give some interesting day trading. From a broader macroeconomic point of view, it's not a great thing. Anyways, so light news day today. Nothing scheduled. So let's focus on what's moving from the gappers list because, like you pointed out, Carlos, we got a fair amount going on there.
Yeah, we sure do. Let's start with some of the stuff on the gap up list. Here's another one, guys. Up quite a bit, 62%. ZD is the ticker name. Sif Davis. These guys are up 62%. Haven't really done much. Pretty quiet for the most part. But now look at this huge gap up we're getting this morning. Flow is 36 million, so not too low. But for me, I still would consider this a low flow stock. Usually anything under 40 million, 50 million, I kind of consider it, a low flow-ish. This one at 37 million almost. Peter, what's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, I've never heard of this company, but they're selling what they're calling their connectivity division to Accenture. So for about $1.2 billion in cash. So as a buyout, I mean, it's not a complete buyout because they're only selling part of the company, but it's a cash buyout. So not going to be tradable, I don't think, right? Because usually it sort of gets priced in, and then the things will just go flat. The volume's not very big here. There's some interesting names in here, like the Ookla and speed test. You probably know those guys from, like, I use them all the time when I want to test the speed of my connection. I didn't realize Ziff Davis owned these guys, but so they're anyways selling these assets off. These assets generated 231 million in revenue last year, and Accenture. I'm not sure why Accenture's buying them, to be honest, but doesn't really matter. The deal's been struck. I don't think we're going to get a trading opportunity out of it.
Yeah, so we were saying that this was a big company in the 90s. Simon, what did they? I don't remember them in the 90s here. Sif
Which one,
Davis.
the buyer or the seller? Ziff
No,
is a
Z.
big company.
Yeah.
I don't remember them
ZD.
either.
But again, it could be one of these companies that are sitting in the background that you never know what they do, but they just are a big company. I'm going to their website. Can't see what's going on. But yeah, so there it is. Probably, again, as you mentioned, Peter, this is probably not going to be tradable. It's probably going to be better things to look at on our end. So we'll skip this one. I'll update my banner in the bottom in just a second, but we're not going to be looking at that one. VG is the next one on here, guys. This one is up 2 point. That's not it. VG There it is without the T. Up 14%. So 14% this morning, 2.1 million shares traded. You can see on the daily here, nice little pump. They get some action yesterday as well. Venture Global is the name of the company. And again, we're getting some action sitting on the New York Stock Exchange. And the float on this one, massive, 472 million. So Peter, in play this morning, what's the latest and greatest?
Well, this is oil and gas sector, so it looks like they also had earnings, although I don't really see much detail about that. It's not certainly not one of the earnings I was following. It looks like they released their Q4 and full year earnings report. They delivered 41 cents per share and revenue Q4 revenue of $4.4 billion. So good numbers for Venture Global, and well, like we were seeing yesterday and continuing today, a lot of the oil and gas is moving higher. So they had a good, I guess, a good timing with their earnings release, and it's propelling them higher. I don't normally. I don't normally trade these. I don't think that's going to change. Yesterday, I was watching with interest BATL as it was moving and some of the others, but still never found a trade that I liked on it. If you look at sort of the movement on some of the, like we said, maybe Oxy, right, used to trade well. Whew, did not move well yesterday. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens, but I'm not going near Venture Global.
Yeah, yeah, same here. All right, let's continue, friends. BBY is next. Again, a lot of stuff on the
Mm.
gap up list that we normally don't trade, but here it is. BBY with an interesting pop. We're up 8.4 on this one, 862,000 shares traded. This is Best Buy. When's the last time,
Yep.
Peter, that you walked into a Best Buy? It's been a long time for me.
Oh, yeah?
But here it is. Best Buy, man, moving up.
Well, it's where I buy my trading monitors from. That tends to be the component that fails the most regularly. So, but it's been a little while since I've had to do that, and I do have a spare one sitting in the basement. But I was actually looking to see if they had computers the other day, just see what their inventory was, and their computers suck. So, at least for what we want to do. So, in any event, Best Buy had earnings, which is why they're here on the list. They beat their numbers, and they just announced this morning. Well, they just barely missed on revenue, but beat on the bottom line. So more or less, it was a beat, and their guidance was a little bit higher than analysts expected at about 42 billion for the 50. Oh my goodness, I can't speak. The 2027 fiscal year. So that's it's good news that they seem to still be chugging along. So you might not be going, Carlos, but other people are, and their sales are
Mm.
remaining strong. So they also raised their quarterly dividend by 1%. So that's always good for shareholders when the dividend goes up. So good news for Best Buy. I've tried to watch this after earnings in the past, Carlos, and it doesn't usually give us trading volume that we want. It is a NYSE stock, so wait for that volume to hit before you take it on. On a normal day, it only gets about 4 million shares. So today it might be a little bit higher, but it's not great trading.
Yeah, I don't like them as far as day trading goes. Forzat says Costco got some good PCs. You gotta. I seen those, but you gotta be careful because what Costco does is that they'll have the same model, and then they'll downgrade all the internal organs, right? Like it'll be the same model as the one they have in the store, but if you look at the actual specs, everything is a lot less, and then that's how they are dropping the price. So just make sure you
Well,
look at the
and if
guts of the machine and make sure you're getting what you think you're getting.
yeah. And I like a lot of Costco stuff. It's good as long as you don't need current, right? Because a lot of their stuff is like a year or so. It's older stuff, but it's cheap. It's relatively cheap. So I mean, yeah, I actually trust Costco for a fair degree. You just got to be, like you said, Carlos. You got to be a smart consumer because
Yeah.
even. My wife and I go to Costco more regularly now, actually, than we have in the past. And I found like there's great deals on some stuff, and there's other things you're like, they make it look like it's a good price, but that's actually a terrible price. Because you're buying
Yep.
like a pallet of it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best price. Jeremiah is talking about their roast chicken. I don't know if can you trust their roast chicken? There's like three different lawsuits on right now about their roast chicken. So
Mm,
And one of them definitely sounds frivolous, but anyways, the fact that there's
yeah.
a few. Yeah, Costco's got a very liberal return policy. There is that. You can absolutely return anything at any time for
You
almost
could
any reason.
return your half-bitten chicken saying, "Hey, it was
Oh
not
yeah,
cooked to
you
par."
bet. It's but then sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta look at like again, like we were shopping for eggs and I'm like, oh, it looks like a good deal. Look at this. It's $20 for, like 8 trillion eggs. But not really. When you go and I did the price per egg and it was more expensive than just going to the regular grocery store. So anyways,
Yeah.
it's
Did you guys see the big news on Costco, by the way? It was on, I think on Bloomberg about a month ago, where they're actually going to. So if you wanted to buy a birthday cake, you had to go to Costco and order it on the counter, right? You can't order online. Their
okay.
technology is like 1980. You can't order online. You got to go show up and place the order, leave a deposit, whatever the case may be, in person. But they're moving towards
Yeah.
now allowing that to happen online on a computer. So they're moving to that. It might take them a couple of years to get that going, but they're actually decided they're going to go in that direction. So that should be interesting. But yeah, there's Costco.
Walcott saying that he works there. Hey, look, my son
Yeah.
worked at Costco for a number of years. I mean, we look, to what you're saying, Carlos. I bought my son's wedding cakes at Costco because there's a whole story there, but we literally rocked up the day before his wedding and said, "Look, man, we're desperate here. I need like 5 white sheet cakes." And they're like, "Look, we only have one in display, but I got some in the freezer." We're like, "We'll take them. They'll thaw by tomorrow." So we walked out with all these sheet cakes to serve everybody at my son's wedding in Scotland. So, you know what? I got to give Costco its due, man. Like it was there when we
They,
needed it.
they deliver in
So,
times of pressure. That's good to know.
yep.
Friends, Best Buy, secondary, Peter. I think right. Let's give it a fair shot. I know they don't. They're another one that do not trade well. Today's action looks good. 8%, 897,000 shares traded. We've seen this in the past many times. Sitting on the New York Stock Exchange, so we got to make sure that 1 minute we wait for the volume to actually come in. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna put it on my secondary list. Again, I don't have a lot of hopes for it, but I'm giving it a fair shot to see if we can get something going. Question in chat. We could skip to it. Is why is the SPY dropping? It's the uncertainty, guys. Right? We've seen this before many times. Yesterday
Yeah.
we had a nice rally, and I think the rally was due to hey, we had the attacks over the weekend. Let's see, are things going to come down? But now things are gonna have been escalating actually, right? So it's going the opposite way, right? Marco Rubio is talking about there's a lot more pain, even bigger than what they've seen already happened that might take place. So this can drag on. If it drags on, then the market's going to go the other way, which you're seeing that now. So again, only day number 4 of the Middle East crisis. We got to give this time. But the market does not like war and does not like this situation. So that's why we're down this morning. And if we don't see a
And
quicker solution, ceasefire, then it will continue. Right, Peter?
and for anybody that's not familiar, one of the places one of the things you can use the VIX. We don't actually talk about that much here, but VIX. Look up the VIX. It's an uncertainty index, and it gives you an idea. And right now you can see it's spiking, not to an extreme level. It's about to the same level it was back, towards the end of last year, at the end of November and the end of October. You can see it spiked higher. You just have to go back another year, and you'll see at this time, or April, anyways, of last year, it was way up compared to now. But whenever you get a spike in uncertainty, it's almost certain you can, trace a downward move on the market. So using uncertainty index, there's other ones out there, but that's just one that I tend to flip to just to see where it's at occasionally.
Yep, there it is,
So,
friends.
yeah.
All right, let's see what else is on this gap up list. We got BBY. Pinterest is next, also on the list this morning. These guys are gapping up 5.8, 1.1 million shares traded, so getting a nice little pop. If you guys remember, they got slammed back in February 13th, February 12th. You can see a nice drop there on the daily, recovering, seeing a little bit of activity here this morning, Peter.
Yeah, and it's just some sort of internal financial news. They did secure $1 billion investment from Elliott, which is sort of an activist investor. So it's interesting that Elliott's getting involved in Pinterest for the tune of $1 billion, and they're actually going to be buying back about $3.5 billion worth of shares. So usually that's a company saying we think our stock is undervalued and we're going to invest in ourselves. So two of the $3.5 billion they're planning to execute between now and well in the first half of this year, which really only gives them another 3 months, right, from now. So 3 4 months maybe. So they're going to be buying back fairly quickly, which usually would lead to some price appreciation over the midterm. So not nothing significantly different about their business, but Pinterest is got some investment going on. Uh, I always think of Andrew, of course, when he used to trade Pinterest, as he called it, and never been a fan. I don't think he's that and Snapchat, right? He doesn't like either one of those. Uh,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but
Snapchat, $5 stock. Yeah.
But I can understand Pinterest. Pinterest, for anybody that really wants to go into the Wayback Machine, we still have fond or disturbing memories, some traumatic memories of Andrew, and his biggest ever loss at the time was on Pinterest, and that was one where he helped us all learn a lesson. We're going way back now, like 2018 maybe when this happened,
Mm-hmm.
2019, when he
Yeah.
just kept adding to a short and the thing kept going up and it was no logic to it. Like it shouldn't gone up, but it just kept going up and he kept adding and he kept adding and he kept adding. And it was one of those where, he was down 7 grand at a point, which now is a loss he'll make on a single trade. But at the time, he was only targeting making about $700 a day. So to get down 7 grand, was that Yelp? No, it's Pinterest. Well, maybe you did it on both. Anyways, there
Yeah.
was a Pinterest day. But in
Yeah.
any event, there's
Yep.
a few of them where it was pretty ugly. So
It sure was. So pins again. Numbers look good, Peter. I mean, if you look at the numbers alone, we're up
I
5.3, 1.1 million. I know it trades so bad. Um, maybe I don't know. Maybe today it's not a lot of the gap up that looks good. I know we're gonna have a ton
it
of the gap down, right? I mean, we're gonna have everything.
yeah.
So maybe a possible.
It gets more volume than I always think it does, just because it doesn't move like it gets 20 million shares. Like it trades 22 million shares on average, which again, for whatever reason, it just doesn't move like that. So, come on, man, move better.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know, Carlos. I think there's better things today, but it might be interesting for fun, little nostalgia.
Yeah. I'll keep it on deck. Let's see if we can get anything out of this one. Continue here, guys, on our gap up. We got Indo also on deck this morning. Again, as I mentioned, a lot of energy and oil companies like Bat L, which
Yeah.
is still on halt. Bat L. It is still halted for news here, waiting to see what's taking place there.
Yeah.
But this thing is up 134 as high as 35. And again, it got going yesterday. If you guys look at the daily here, got going yesterday and then exploded this pre-market session all the way to 35 and now halted, waiting to see what is next. So we'll keep an eye on that. And the continue here again, Indo is
Uh,
the one we're looking at. Peter, go ahead, Peter. Sorry.
No, just like you're saying, right? This whole the oil disruption coming out of the Strait of Hormuz, which I was learning about yesterday, as Mike was talking about it, and I didn't realize what a little constriction point that is. So, anyways, there's a
Yeah.
couple of tankers that ended up taking some missile strikes, and that's never good. So, I guess if your company hasn't been affected, then your existing reserves are worth more. That's basically what the whole market is trading on, at least the oil and gas sector right now. So, this could be very short-lived, right? Because you just need something else to happen, and then any one of these companies could move the wrong way. So, and it is fascinating, Carlos, that we've got our battalion battle, anyways. That's halting for news. Who knows when that news will come out, right? Like, I imagine they don't want to keep it halted too long past the open, but it could be on halt all morning as we wait for that news.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder if there's even any news, or is it they're just using that again? There's no, if you guys, for those who are new, there's no volatility halts, right? So you can't hold based on volatility. Clearly, the market would have been open. This would have been halted. I wonder if they came up with
Yeah.
some BS news just to kind of hold the price here,
No,
let
well,
everybody come down, and
I don't
and
think you
say,
want to play that game. The
right?
market the company doesn't get to decide that themselves. The market regulators do that. And
Yeah,
yeah, you I don't think you want to play that game where you tell them there's big news coming and then not have it. That would probably be bad for your
I
continued listing
I
on the
would think
markets.
so, man. It just seems very
But I don't know.
weird.
Who knows?
We're
Who
having this
knows? I
halts
mean,
right now, so it
yeah,
better be
it
good.
is
It better be
unusual.
good.
It
Yeah,
is
it better be
unusual.
good. Okay, it better not be some BS news. I can't wait to see what they actually release on this one. But it's just again, I put nothing past this market and just any. We've seen a lot, so who knows? We'll see how this one goes. But we'll keep an eye on it, guys. I'm actually going to add it here my popcorn ticker. 100% going on the popcorn list here for entertainment purposes. It's not tradable for the way I trade, but if you do like trading this high volatility, maybe a scalping strategy, if you have a good successful scalping strategy, this is a great stock today. I mean, it has to be on your list, right? Hard to borrow, so you can't short it unless you have a broker that you are borrowing shares from, which I'm assuming are going to be. You know, if you're doing that, let me know how much you're paying to locate those shorts. It's got to be super expensive to locate those shorts, right? So if you get a quote, we'd love to hear what are they charging per share for something like
Sure.
that.
Okay.
You can do that with interactive brokers. I used to have Centerpoint, and you were able to locate shares, and before you actually pay for them, they'll tell you this is going to cost you this much, right? For this many shares, it will cost you X amount of dollars plus commissions, and then you can get the shares, and then you pay for that, and you still don't have to trade it, but you already paid for it. You have it. If you don't trade, then you still lost your money. So it's very interesting how that works. And at some points, I saw some stuff here like at $300 for a couple of thousand shares. So it's, it could get pretty dicey. So be
Yep.
careful if that's the way you trade there. All right, we'll keep an eye on that one. Let's look at our cat. Let's finish this list and see what's on the gap down. And the gap down, I see plenty of our usual suspects and things that we probably will keep an eye on. Look at American Airlines taking another hit today. Here's our cat down 4.2, 1 million shares traded. I really don't like the activity on this one pre-market. Daily looks a little bit messy, very choppy. They don't get a lot of volume, but yesterday they're seeing higher than usual volume, 38 million shares traded. Red Cat, Peter, I don't know exactly what these guys do, but clearly yesterday there's some attention to it, and today we're seeing a slight gap up this morning.
Yeah, they're amongst other things, they build drones. So any company that's in that
Ah,
space, and all these companies, Bullfrog AI, which provides some of the intelligence behind it, they got a Blue Ops, they've got Allen Control Systems. They're all part of the same drone ecosystem, the ecostructure. Anyways, whatever. The Red Cat is moving because their drones have been used successfully and part of the conflict, and we're seeing a lot of these companies move higher. So, yeah, again, these are just tougher to trade. I get why they're moving higher, just because now, every time they get battle tested, it basically means, the military is going to need to buy more. So, again, it feels a little dirty trading off of war, but that those are the markets. So here we are.
yeah,
And one
yeah.
alpha. Welcome to Lambos and garbage trucks.
Yeah, just seeing you coming in there. One Alpha, welcome to Lambos and Garbage Truck. Happy to have you part of the family here. All right, and again, doesn't trade well. Leave that alone. AVAV, nothing coming off the gap up list so far. And friends, you can get this exact same gap up list brought to you by TradingTerminal.com. You head over there. Tons of tools just like this one you can take advantage of. Plus the possibility to add a funded account if you want to do that as well. AVAV Arrow. I see what they try to do there. Arrow environment.
Yeah.
I see what they try to
Yeah,
do there with
the,
the name. Try and get
these
creative.
guys,
What's going on?
yeah, see, these guys came up yesterday midday, and I don't like it when companies get too cute with their names. This is, yeah, AeroVironment. That's a little too much for me. And I like my dad jokes, but that's a little much. Anyways, they are another aerospace and defense company that they're actually saying that they're going to expand their manufacturing operations, which are in all of all places, they're in Albuquerque, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Anyways, they're going to spend some money to expand that, which shows a growth in their business, not trading it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that doesn't look tradable, so we'll leave that.
What happened, Carlos? He disappeared.
Oh,
Oh, there he
sorry,
is.
forgot to unhit uh, the mute button there. TGT, my friends, it is down up 2.6, 322,000 shares traded. Another one that does not really trade all that well. Again, these retail tickers, guys, they're not great intraday trading stocks. They really are not. So here it
Yeah.
is, up 2.6 for the most part, right? 322,000 shares traded. Day looks like it's trying to do something, Peter. Any news? Looks like this morning we got some movement going.
Yeah, earnings this morning. They posted their Q4 numbers. They missed on revenue slightly, but beat on bottom line, posting $2.30 a share. And their same store sales number is up, which is good. A lot of their comparable store sales or same store sales, that's what they look at to say, are you selling more per location? And they are not just expanding with the number of locations. So anyways, Target's doing okay. Like you said, I used to like trading Target. There was a period of time. I think I just got a soft spot in my heart for them because there was a very limited period of time where they just took off out of nowhere. This stock like quadrupled in price or something. It just went crazy. And we were watching this, and it was back in 2020. I guess it was during the pandemic when this thing just I don't know. It was just shooting up, and then it died again, and was terrible trading. So, but yeah, I don't think it's going to give us a trading opportunity. The volume's very very light this morning.
Yeah. Too light for us friends here. That covers our gap up this morning, friends. Let's take a look. Peter, if anything you like this morning on the gap up that might not be here.
Another earnings that we didn't yet cover was Plug Power. Now, haven't typically liked trading Plug or gone to it, but they did have earnings this morning. A mixed picture. They beat revenue and missed earnings. I have to admit, I like the company a little more after I was reading the details about from their earnings call. Just because I got to give a thumbs up. While don't like the environment for whatever reason, I do like the names that Plug has come up with on things. They've got a business called the electrolyzer business. I mean, I like the boldness of calling something the electrolyzer. Anyways, their electrolyzer business, in amongst all their other business, did 188 million, but they've got like they apparently have an $8 billion sales funnel for that business. A lot of electrolyzers being sold out there. Another product that they've got a product line called Project Quantum Leap. Do you remember the show Quantum Leap? I'm going to go back in the Wayback Machine for all of you people who are my vintage. I used to love that show. Do you remember that scientist that sort of keeps getting accidentally sent back in time and has got to fix things before he's allowed back again?
Oh man,
Yeah,
don't
Scott
remember this one.
Bakula or
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, I used to love that show watching it. So, anyways, Quantum Leap. All right. Well, they've got Project Quantum Leap going. So I gotta like the fact that they've decided to name something that. And they did announce a new CEO. So they've appointed Jose Luis Crespo as the CEO. Going to be coming on board after these earnings. So I don't know if Plug's going to trade well today, but I said I sort of like their product names. Anything that's got a product called the Electrolyzer and Project Quantum Leap going. I'd like to see it trade well. It's unfortunate that it's a $2 stock nowadays. Like it used to be, I don't know, I guess I
Yeah.
still think of it back when it was back, pandemic times and it was a 40, 50, $60 stock. It's $2 now. So, yeah.
Yeah, we used to trade this a ton, man. So a lot of great memories in trading on this one, but
Yep.
not today. All right, Peter. Anything
Not
else?
so much nowadays. Yeah. That was really it for a gap up. Unfortunately, there's a lot of red. So, yeah, we got to focus on the downside.
All right, I get it. I get it. You either love this guy or you need him to stick around. Everywhere I click, Peter, on this website, immediately he comes up again. Like, all right, you already showed me. It's already X'd out. Like, why you keep popping him up? Like, you're really trying to sell this guy to me. It's kind of getting annoying a little bit here, Plug website. Like, who in their right mind IT thought this was a good idea? Look at that. Everywhere I click, Boom, comes right up again. That is not acceptable. All right, let's continue,
Yeah.
friends. Gapping down this morning.
Oh,
Jose is it's stuck in my head.
looks like
Yeah,
welcome Chen K I8D. There's probably a better way to say that.
yes,
How do we say
yes.
that name? Anyways,
Chang K or Kiat if you try to
Chang,
do the A
Chang,
with a yeah, but welcome,
yeah. Yeah.
welcome.
I feel
Good,
like
good
it's
to
one of
have you.
those license plates that I'm not quite getting, that I'm not pronouncing properly. But anyways,
Yeah.
all
All right.
right. Welcome, anyways.
Yeah, welcome, Lambos and Garbage Truck family, my friend, and good luck today as we do another funded account giveaway, friends. So stick around for that.
As long as we get those
MD,
likes.
yes, MDB this morning.
NVDA, yeah.
MongoDB is down here heavy, leading the gap down list. These are gap down list, friends, by the way. And you can see how much
Yeah.
stuff is in the red. Almost everything. Again, with the uncertainty, as we mentioned earlier, if you're just joining us, the uncertainty and the continuation. Day number 4. But a lot of talks about this dragging on, which the market does not like. So, MongoDB is down. This could be more than that, Peter, right? Though, because it looks like last night they got the big hit and they're feeling it today. Who's getting fired, my friend?
Yeah, I'm surprised that they're leading the gap down. I would have thought there's like bigger things to gap down because their news wasn't that bad. In the quarter, they actually beat their numbers. They did issue lower guidance than expected and use some weird terminology here. They're reporting lumpiness in their enterprise advanced architecture business. Their guidance, basically analysts are digging into it and saying that they're slowing, their growth is slowing faster than anticipated, and that creates some longer term concern. So I get the drop, but 27% feels a little much. They're still growing, they're just growing at a slower rate. So but anyways, it's gapping down fairly significantly, having closed yesterday at 325, right now sitting at 236. That's a big gap. So we'll see where this goes. I know this has been on our list occasionally. I don't know that I've ever actually actively tried to trade it, so I'm not sure what to expect. But based on the pre-market volume, it doesn't look all that good. It looks okay, but not great. So I'm cautiously, Carlos. Right now, I'm going to put it on a secondary. I'll be ready to dump it because there's a lot of other stuff to look at here.
Yeah, glad you're watching it, so I don't have to put it on mine. And you let me know if you see something great. So you'll save me a spot here as our good buddy. Who
Sure.
do we have here?
Divide and conquer.
EMS Logic joins the Lambos and Garbage Truck family. Welcome to you as well. All right, so yes, divide and conquer is the way to go. SE, SE, here
Yeah.
it is. We are SE this morning. We're down 18%. This is C Limited. This is a shipping company, right?
Yeah.
If I got this right, so yeah, this will be some shipping companies hurting here, because obviously I'm sure they got a lot of ship stocks probably in that in the Middle East there. That's obviously going to cost them a pretty penny. So they're down 18%. Peter, it looks like it started this morning, or unless they have anything else, any other news that's affecting them. It seems like a lot right now, just for 4-day hold period. So what do you have on them?
It's interesting how they actually, I don't know that they are. I thought they were a shipping company, but I'm looking at their website and they call themselves a global technology company. And I look at their products and services, and they've got like digital entertainment, e-commerce, and digital financial services. So, yeah, no. But they're here because they have earnings. And their earnings were mixed. They beat on revenue but missed bottom line. I could have sworn that they were shipping, but apparently not. They're just named like that. So,
Hmm.
anyways, and they looks like they've issued guidance for some of their different business units. So their e-commerce, for example, which is their Shopee company. Anyways, they have significant growth, but it's being offset by lower growth in some of their other business units. So, anyways, clearly the market is not happy with their overall portfolio mix and is giving them a lower rating here. So, yeah, down 18%. Good volume. I mean, this one actually looks better. It's a nicey stock. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens when the volume opens. I, I like this better than I thought I would here for the morning, Carlos. So I'm not sure what to make of it, but I don't know if there'll be an actual trade on it, but it's moving well with good volume.
Yeah. I like the drop here a lot as well. I like the volume, and again, nicely stock. We just got to be careful with that bell ring. So yeah, I like this one, guys. I'm gonna put it on the main list for now. It might not stay there. Again, we'll have to look at our usual suspects. I expect stuff like the PLTRs of the world to be in play today and to hopefully give us some good opportunity. By the way, PLTR later in the day, now we're trading in the morning. Later became great. Did finally break out and took off, but give us a really hard time right out of the bell. But stocks like this one, I'm gonna be having this morning on deck. All right, let's see what else, friends. So we have that SBSW. This is a drilling company. I thought these guys would be doing well, right? Is this South Mining? Oh, but this is different. This is different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these guys are down 14%, 808,000 shares traded. They normally don't trade that well, but lately, clearly, we've been seeing a lot of big movements, more volume. Like they normally have these very little small days. You see that here, very very small. They're also a foreign company. But lately you can see how big these dailies are. So maybe it could be some better activity today, Peter. They got some volume. They got a nice gap down. What's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, Sibanye Stillwater is the company. It's a South African mining company. A lot of precious metals mining and platinum prices are down sharply this morning, and that's what's pushing this lower. So, like these follow the commodity prices. We typically gold, silver, metal, platinum, titanium, whatever you want, lithium. We don't trade any of them. At least I don't. So, if you like it, there's the news. Platinum prices are down.
Yeah. All right, nothing I like yet, guys. The next one on here is going to be ALM. This is also down 13% this morning, 621,000 shares traded. The float on this one pretty good, 164 million. So not a low float ticker. Peter, they've been having a really good daily, really good nice movement here all year. Pretty much starting December, actually going back into December, nice little move higher and higher. They basically came from $6 to about 21, almost 21, and today they're seeing a little of a drop. So first time we're seeing on the gap list up or down. I don't recall seeing this one. What's your thoughts on it? Do you like it?
No, I don't like it. It's and especially being that it's a secondary offering. They're issuing some new shares, which raises concerns over the dilution of their share price. The new shares are being issued at $17.93. No, that's not correct. I don't know what price they're being issued actually. So, however, they're issuing some new shares. It doesn't seem like a lot though. They're only issuing 1.3 million shares, and their float is 160 million. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like that big of a concern. But, anyways, that's they're gapping down because of that. Not trading
It,
Alonte Industries.
yeah, doesn't seem worth the drop of 13% with that
No.
little number of shares, but maybe
It, it,
they're
Well, it
taking a
could be the
different way
commodity
here.
prices also being down. They seem to be big into
Yeah,
tungsten. Tungsten is their mined metal of choice. And I imagine if I looked it up, tungsten prices will probably be down today.
yeah,
Let's see.
yeah,
What is the
could
tungsten
be.
price? They
I
even write
mean,
on their website, they can give you the price of tungsten. It's currently trading at $1,890 per metric ton.
mm,
So
yeah,
there you go.
there you go. Again, they've been moving pretty well this year. Right? A pullback of 30%. Look at the bigger picture now that I pull back here. Not that big of a deal for them right now. As far as us trading it here, I'm not sure, friends. If you watch it, great. Let me know if it does anything good. We'll keep it. We'll pop it up here as we're trading into the market open. But right now, I don't see anything I like on it. Peter, let's stop here. This list is massive. There's a bunch of stuff on there. What do you
Yep.
like this morning? What's going to be front and center for you as you get ready for the market open?
Well, one that had earnings that I want to make sure people are aware of is Riot, Riot Blockchain. They had some interesting. It's interesting to me that they're gapping down because their earnings picture was okay. They beat on revenue, missed on bottom line earnings. They reconfirmed some deals. They had a data center deal with AMD, an AI data center deal worth $311 million. Some other that's not news. We already knew about that, but I thought the news was good enough that they should be rising. Maybe because they were relatively quiet as to what to expect for their forward-looking guidance. Usually it's guidance based, and their guidance wasn't as high as expected. Don't forget, Riot also has they're big into Bitcoin mining, and that's not quite as lucrative as it once was. So so I guess to a certain degree, I get the drop, but that was the news on them this morning. What is Bitcoin doing? 67,000, so it hasn't moved that much. Look, everything that we would normally trade is in the red. All the semiconductors, red, 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 and relatively significantly too. AMD is down almost 4%. Nvidia is down 2.8%. We've got Micron. We were looking at 5.7%. So we've got some big moves down here on a lot of the semis you need to be aware of. Tesla down here, it's only 2.6%, but still holding well below the 400 mark. After yesterday, making a good run up higher. In fact, it closed at 403, but we're back to where we were at the start of the day yesterday here this morning. So we'll see what happens. But all of the Magnificent Seven stocks are gapping down. Even Apple, which normally likes to go the opposite direction, it's also gapping down. So it's definitely a down morning in the market. Again, it doesn't mean that doesn't mean that you can't go higher is what I'm trying to say. The market, we talked about this yesterday morning. Just because the market is gapping down, don't make an assumption on the direction, because we often see that turn and burn right when the big money hits, and we were seeing some of that yesterday, and who knows what we're going to see today. I'm just going to wait and let the market tell me based on its price action where it's going to go, and find my trading opportunities based on that. So.
Yep. Absolutely. Alan, welcome to the Lambos and Garbage Truck family, my friend. Great to have you. Welcome to the gang here. All right, let's go. I still have nothing. I have SE on my primary list.
Really?
Yeah, I put it on there. I like it. I like the numbers here, man. We're down 17%, 1.9. I know it's a New York Stock Exchange, but this is a big drop. I think this is going to be interesting.
PLTR is worth watching. I mean, it's gapping down with everything else. It is down 2.6% right now, but it's obviously in play. We know that a lot of its stuff is used military, so it's active. I mean, it's been in play for a while now, but
yeah,
I like that. So my list is, I guess, much of the usuals, right? Tesla, PLTR, Nvidia, AMD. Those are my go-tos, and they will continue to be in this type of market. Carlos, it might also be interesting to watch the banks. We haven't talked a lot about banking sector. It's not one that we typically look at, but the banks often get interesting moves when you get global turmoil, right? Because of their exposure and their lending and everything else. So we'll see. A Bank of America, for example, yesterday actually moved quite sharply higher at the open, and provided a good trade opportunity. So Citigroup, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, I expect them all to be in play, although I don't watch the banks unless they do something exceptional. Thought I'd mention them.
Yeah. I did see some of the travel companies as well. Friends are down. Here's American Airlines. Didn't recover as much as some of the other stocks that we saw, right? If you saw some of the tech stocks, they recovered quite a bit. But look at here, American Airlines recovered a little bit, down some more today, and I would expect a lot of the other airlines also down. I took my parents to the airport this morning. It is empty. Empty. So people are not traveling. I'm sure people are probably having the same concerns you have, Peter, of do I really want to go there where I can be close to that? Might not be a thing at the moment. So you will definitely see a hit there. Yeah. All right, friends, let's head over to a place where it's always safe, bearwithtraders.com. You can head on over there and click on webinars. And scroll down to the bottom, and you can see what's happening for this beautiful Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday is when we like to talk strategy and help you understand new strategies and trade book plays you can make in the markets. If you want to join us and you're an elite member, then we've got the stuff for you today. Let's start with the thing that's available to everybody, though, which happens midday. Brendan likes to talk about the DOS Trader Pro platform. It's one that we use, a lot of traders use to do their active trading, and it's a great platform, but sometimes needs a little explanation on how to best get value out of all of the functions functionality. So if you're interested in that, join Brendan at 11 a.m. That's in the onboarding room, which means all membership classes can take advantage of that. Whether you're on an intro package or a full package, you can go there and talk with Brendan. Now, you need to be an elite member to do the other webinar, which is tonight at 8:30 p.m. And Megan's talking about what she's named her Titan Territory strategy. A strategy she's been working on for quite a while and continuing to refine as she finds the areas of big interest and support, basically where supply and demand lives. And that's her Titan Territories, and she trades very effectively off of that. Megan's also a great teacher. Again, the challenge, eternal challenge for Megan, she loves her carbs. So she's got to have some sort of carb bread or pizza reference. She almost always does some sort of analogy. Last time she let me down, though, and didn't have one. So, Megan, if you're listening, we're looking for one, okay? That's your challenge. I want all of you who go to the webinar tonight to remind her we're expecting a bread reference. So that's her challenge for tonight. But anyways, the material itself will be great. That's at 8 p.m. Hopefully you'll join her for that. If you want to be part of these webinars or just join the chat room all day, then go to bearabletraders.com. It's a great resource, all sorts of material in there. Our library of past webinars is absolutely fantastic and great for your education. You will not be disappointed. Go to Bearable Traders, scroll down, and then you can find the right membership class, an offer that's good for you. So pick the one that's right. And hopefully we'll see you in the chat room sometime soon. Carlos, we're getting close to this open, so why don't I let you set some levels? Mods, get your lists in, and I'll share with everybody what you're trading in a few minutes.
Yep, absolutely, friends. Let's get some levels in place.
Oh my God, am I?
Oh
no.
Yeah, what's up?
Am I live trading with Peak Capital again?
Are you?
Apparently.
Okay. All right. Good luck.
Thanks for the reminder. Mr. Brown is reminding me that I've got to be over there. Oh my.
Go do your thing, man. Go set up there. I'll do some levels, and I'll take it from here, my friend. All right, guys. I got 3 SE, PLTR, and MU on the list. Let's go here. SE 84.94 is the low of the pre-market. The high is pretty much stuck up here with the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. The high of the pre-market is slamming into 106.96, 107.96, which is pretty much the low from yesterday right in here. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. Let's go to the left. First time I'm actually looking at this stock in a serious function here. So let's go to the left and see what we can pull off. Looks like 2024 is the last time we've been down here. So it's been a while. And we're going to mark a level at 90.69 and just here at 81.49. So I'm going to leave those 2 there, just surrounding the price action, and we'll see how that plays out. Next on my list is going to be PLTR, and then I have MU. Let's look at PLTR and see what we got going on here. 1 second. There it is. PLTR, my friends, surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. Going to just put in high of the pre-market 143.85. I do like this one, and also 138.73. Once you do that, guys, you're set. Do not need to add anything else. And the last one for me for right now, I might add some more. You know what? I'm gonna go different. I'm always watching MU. Nvidia. I'm always watching AMD. I'm gonna watch MU today, and I'll have AMD and Nvidia on the secondary list. Let's see what MU does. Love the pre-market 382.66. The high of the pre-market 402. 402 is the high of the pre-market for this one. And then towards the top, you're pretty much set. Towards the bottom, let's pick off a few levels. I think this was a good one. 370.45 will be great for any move down there. And we also have 352.83. So that's my list right now, and we'll build it as we go. But let's take a look at what our friends are watching, starting with Andrew and Brian. Andrew watching Tesla, AMD, Nvidia, and PLTR. Very tight list for the that's like our usual suspects DNA right there. And Brian is looking at some of that as well. Tesla, Nvidia, PLTR, AMD. He loves PLTR so much he put it on there twice. And then the SPY and the Qs for my good buddy Brian. And then we got Megan with Circle of Internet, AMD, Google, Gary, Nvidia, Tesla, PLTR, AMD, and Circle of Internet. You can see some of the similar stocks being watched there. And then our good buddy Thor will be on later today. AMD, Nvidia, and SQ, NQ, and CL. There you have it, friends. I'll let you go as Brian and Andrew join us for live trading in the chat room. If you guys want to join that, you can do so. Head over to bearabletraders.com and you'll give you the options on how you can join the community to see Andrew and Brian trade live and the rest of the stuff that happens throughout the day. So take care, guys. We'll see you guys a little bit later. All right, we'll continue here, guys, in YouTube and live on X. I'm gonna go ahead and and get everything set up. So we'll get our 1 minute. Over here, we'll get our 5 minute, and we'll be ready to rock and roll here. All right, there it is. What do we have? Okay, perfect. All right, friends. I'm just gonna write my list in here. I see Brian logging in. Very good. SE. I could afford to add a few more on this primary list. I got SE. I got MU. I got PLTR. I guess I could add Tesla. Of course. Well, I guess I could add Tesla, which I should. I should have Tesla on deck. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I see Andrew got his screen ready. So good. Yeah, let's add Tesla. Let's put Tesla right on here. How about you guys? Anything you guys have on deck? Maybe I haven't been watching. A lot of you guys are watching Nvidia, which is good because that means that you guys can call out something if you see something on it. Let me know. As you guys are putting your tickers out there, I'm going to be looking at getting my market atlas set up. Riot, you know what? Yeah, Riot had earnings last night, right? So Riot with earnings last night, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Not a whole lot of volume right now, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how the bell rings and how it looks a little bit later. So this is one that's we'll keep a close eye on it. But Mr. David, if you see something good on it, please let me know. AMD, yeah, actually, you know, if you look at AMD the daily on AMD does look actually cleaner. It actually looks very good now that I'm looking a little bit closely. Much cleaner than MU. I have to agree with that. And if I look at, if I look at Nvidia, AMD looks good. AMD looks good. I am gonna add AMD. See, now I'm getting heavy on the tech side, which I try to watch other things. But this AMD daily looks really nice. I cannot deny that. Let's get some levels in here. We got 3 minutes to the market open, friends. So get ready, get your cup of coffee, whatever you need to do as we get ready for this market open. 192.80 is our pre-market high. Towards the top, highs and lows for the last two trading days got you covered. Do not need to add anything else. We're gonna look towards the bottom here and just look at this daily on AMD, right? So big area support having here. And then you can see that the nice drop that we're getting in the last couple of attempts, a little bit lower, then you got the nice gap up. No, I'm not trying to avoid the tech stocks, but I want to spread the love. I want to watch some different things. For example, Oxy. I want to look at Oxy today. You know, Oxy can be a great trader this morning, given the Middle East tensions are going on. So I think you need to watch some energy companies, you know. So I want to watch Oxy. I'm going to put it on my secondary list. But now that I'm taking up a spot with Tesla and AMD and MU, you know, now it becomes really tight to watch like an Oxy, right? So that's all. But you know what? We could afford 1, 2, 3. Yeah, what the heck? We'll put Oxy too. Why not? Why not? It's one of those days, Carlos. Figure it out, manage it. You got to watch everything. It is what it is. SE, PLTR, MU. We'll look at Tesla, of course. AMD has a great daily. And today I also want to watch Oxy as well. Just load it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the max that I could look at all at once. And then we have Best Buy over here. We'll put that one on there. Pinterest. Chart's going to be blank as I put these tickers on my list here. And then we got Battle L, which has resumed, right? So Battle L was on halt for news and has since then gapped down slightly, down all the way to 19, back to 24. If anybody has the news, I want to pull that up, let me know. But I would love to hear what was so big that they had to halt it this morning. So we'll see. All right, just a little bit over 30 seconds for the market open. I'm getting my market atlas in place from Trading Terminal. And we'll get this rocking and rolling, friends. The 20 seconds for the bell. And we'll get my market atlas here. Oh, no. I want it over here. Very good. All right, guys, here we go. There it is. Ding, 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 ding. Where is our beautiful action this morning? Good morning, Juan. Good to see you. Good morning, Mohammed. Welcome. All right, PLTR making its move here. Wow, that's nice. That is nice. Let's see, PLTR. Wow, it's just gone. Wow, very nice. MU on the other hand, they dropped to 379.55, getting some buyers here at the moment on MU. Again, it's been down about 6% at the market open, so maybe now I can start moving a little bit higher if it wants to do that. Tesla, same thing, initial drop and then recovery. AMD, not much of a drop, and then push up all the way to, that's the high of the pre-market, 192.81. Went right to it, and getting a little bit of rejection of 193.55, which is your high of the day. And Oxy, no volume, typical nicey stock, right? Just no volume right now. Just waiting for that to come in. SE continues with the selling pressure. SE is not having a good day. So a little bit of a drop here. Down 24%, 2.8 million shares traded. So that's good. PLTR might be going green here, guys. How awesome would that be? Much better start to yesterday on PLTR. PLTR yesterday had a very tough time. Gave us a really hard time to actually get the breakout. Later in the day, though, it did break out really nice. But at first, it was just tough to actually get the breakout going. So there it is. Okay, going green, friends, on PLTR. No trade for me yet. I can reset. I don't see that on my end. Oh, PLTR. It's not giving us no opportunity, no pullbacks. Just gone. All right, reset the mic just in case we're getting any choppiness. Let me know, guys, but I don't see anything on my end. Thompson, but let me know if that's better. IPLTR, strong move. MU, feeling some weakness here. Oh, Tesla. It's a nice buying pressure on Tesla. What do we have here? Market Atlas, though. What do we have? Market Atlas. Not showing all that much bullishness on it. So let's see. Let's see if it's actually going to stick here. AMD sideways, nothing yet. MU back and forth. PLTR hanging out here. So I'm looking for a 1 minute engulfing, which I have not seen in any of these stocks. You go through them, nothing. Here it is. Oxy is now getting volume. So again, actually went 3 minutes. Usually it's about 1 or 2 minutes. This one went 3 minutes before anybody decided, hey, let's start trading it. So it's a little bit on the longer side with the New York Stock Exchange. Usually it's about 1 minute or two. This one waited 3, and now you're getting some movement here. So now to see, let's see how that develops in just a moment here. Tesla, see, Market Atlas is saying it's a little bit of bullish pressure. So, sorry, bearish pressure, right? So you can see all these numbers down here on the bids. Not a whole lot on the ask. So it's kind of hard to trust this breakout if it's going to go here. So first pop did get rejected back down. If it can continue to stay above the VWAP, though, it can be a pretty nice long, and Tesla could trade so well. Nvidia did try to get going back below the VWAP. Look at that rejection on Nvidia. That could be nice. Nvidia, very nice rejection. Could be setting up for a pretty good 5-minute ORB actually on Nvidia. Let me get the Atlas. Got some heavy orders at 177, 45,000 shares. Bat L got halted. Let's take a look. Yeah, this thing, it's just wild, just wild. So halted to the upside. Later when we get a little quiet time, we'll pull up the news to see why it got halted for. What was the actual news that caused that? All right, 5-minute mark, friends. Nvidia could be a potentially, it has a great risk to reward for a 5-minute ORB breakdown. If it can stay below the VWAP, there is some pressure down at one. Not pressure. We got some orders down at 177. So let's see. It's got to stay below the VWAP here. Right now it's doing it engulfing on the 5-minute, but I don't like the setup for long with that selling pressure of 180. So I don't like it as much as I would anything else. But let's see. Staying above the VWAP, so doing pretty good right now. See if we can get something going. Marcus, yes, a lot of red on the screen, my friend. A lot of red on the screen. I think it's gonna continue like that for a bit, right? This goes the long haul. It's gonna be like that for a bit, I think. But this market is resilient. We've seen this market take a lot of hits and still manage to maintain or push higher. We've seen it do this many times before. We'll see if it's able to do that. Look at that. Speaking of that, look at Nvidia holding above the VWAP. Oxy did go red. AMD also at the VWAP as well. Not much volume in the last 4 minutes or so. And Tesla, MU, PLTR, SE. PLTR came back to the VWAP. Man, it's a lot of it's a lot of indecision right now with this market. So it just requires you to be a little more patient, guys. Don't rush anything. And as I always tell you, risk management, right? It's the best way to survive these markets is to have amazing risk management, right? So you don't have to be right every time. You're not going to be right every time, but if you have amazing risk management, you'll survive and keep coming back over and over again. MU putting in something here above the VWAP. AMD's just trying to look at all the tech stocks. And Nvidia also pushing higher. I don't see anything great. Oxy. Actually seems like it wants to go lower. You know, the president did say he's going to help. He's going to do something to help to alleviate the cost, the rising costs of gas and stuff like that. So, not sure how that's going to play a part. If they announce anything, guys, let me know. Because that'll be important too. You got to be listening into what's going on and see what announcement comes out that can affect things. But here's Oxy going red this morning. AMD trying to hold at the moment. Andrew is trading TQQQ. He's long. You can see that right over here, friends. So nice entry on TQQQ. You can see a nice little pop there, and we're getting the move higher. SPY also moving higher as well at the moment. So AMD, Tesla's messy. MU. Cracking above the VWAP is getting a pullback here. This could be interesting. Yeah, Brian, he did. But you know, it's like like reporters are asking, and I'm very unbiased to any political party. I just find stuff interesting. It's like no president's gonna tell you if they're gonna go to war or not. Like that's not something you're gonna hear. Like we're asking, why didn't you advise 300 congressmen that you're doing this? What do you think? If you advise them that this is gonna happen, it's gonna get leaked, right? There's too many people, so no president, no matter what party, is gonna tell you when they're gonna do something. If they want to have a sneak attack. But yeah, reporters are funny. They ask questions. I'm just like, I could do a better job. I have a better question to ask. But it's what triggers people. What triggers people to react, get them to watch. That's what sells. MU failed the VWAP breakout, guys. Look at that. Failed. So it got going here, rejected 390, came back. I was thinking long here, but it's failing. So that's not good. Let's find something else. PLTR below the VWAP. Let's see if PLTR wants to do a VWAP breakdown, right? So here's our breakdown. This could be our pullback candle if we can get it there. And then we see if we get our confirmation. Let's see if that plays out. So we'll keep an eye on the PLTR for a possible breakdown. Here's the pullback. Oh. This could be good. Not ideal. Not ideal setup. If you guys see my webinars, this is not the ideal setup for a breakdown. I would have wished this candle would have been a little bit cleaner because it kind of messes up. Like, is this the pullback here within this candle? Like, this would have been a perfect entry, but it's kind of messy. It's kind of messy here. Tesla, choppy, AMD, losing ground. Oxy continues to go red. I think it's going to be a weak one today, friends. Oxy. You could play a previous day breakdown there. BBY, nothing. Pinterest. This is why we don't watch these tickers. They barely make our list, but if you look at BBY and you look at Pinterest, no volume whatsoever. And just look how bad they're trading, right? So that's why I threw them under my secondary list, right? Great pre-market activity, good volume, nice gap up on both of them actually, and then market open is just so garbage, right? So they that's the issue with these stocks. They don't trade very well. PLTR is a good trade, guys. If you took that one, if you didn't hesitate, PLTR, nice drop here below the VWAP. You're up $1 right now. You're up $1 on this one with a risk of about 50 cents, maybe 70. So you're not a 2 R's just yet, but you will be at 142 if you took this. Let's see. So you can get there. 141 is the low of the day. Let's see if that can continue there. But this was that was, you know what? Yes and no. It's a hard setup there. It didn't ideally set up the way we normally like to see it, but it did break down pretty nice here. Now here's the challenge we've been getting this entire time is it's a great move, great entry. Can you continue to break lower? Right here, you made money. Can you pay the rent and the Lamborghini payment down here at 141? Right? Can that happen? That's what has not been happening, which makes it very, very difficult. Like you get 1 or 2 parts and it comes back to your break even. So let's see if PLTR can actually get to the low. If it does, then now you're cooking with oil, my friend. If it can do that, so let's see if that can happen. So it's just kind of struggling here. Let's see if it can actually get to the low of the day. MU, that's a VWAP false breakout, kinda. MU, I think MU could be a good one down to 380. 380. Right here it is. We got breakdown, pullback. Reminder, guys, if you are going to trade MU, you got to give this, which I am going to take here. Oh, no, wrong button. Too many shares. Way too many shares. Wrong button. We got to manually type in these shares. Oh, come on. Are you serious? Oh, wow. I hit the wrong hockey, guys. That was too many shares. You can't take that much on MU. Wow. We're up $2 right now. That is... Oh, that's great. That's just great. You know, that's my fault, but we're gonna blame it on Peter anyway. We'll blame it on Peter. He's not here. Wow, I miss my entry here, guys. I hit the wrong hotkey. And it's gonna go. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, it's your fault, Peter. Peter's listening. It's your fault. Peter. So Peter had to go trade with P Capital. So he's trading live with our P Capital group friends. So if you guys want to learn more about P Capital in the boot camp, it's a 13-week intense program. And you could definitely check it out and enjoy that. So we have sessions where we do private, not private, but small group on Google live trading. And the live trading there is nice because here it's just me talking to you. There it's on a Google meeting, and you can have questions, you can have back and forth. So it's very, very interactive. Probably the word I'm looking for. So if you want to train that type of scenario, it's great. And one of the things that happens too out of the boot camp, people, they build teams, and they come out with accountability partners. So after 13 weeks are done, people build these relationships and these networks with people that they are that they kind of trained with for the last 13 weeks, and they build accountability partners. I still have on my Telegram, because we get on Telegram with you, and we were able to also help you there. I still have people from like boot camp 16, 14, 15 that are still communicating with each other. Right, I'm still a part of them. I'm not as active anymore because it's a lot, but they're still communicating with each other. They have weekly meetings, that, helping each other out and accountability. It's just awesome. It really is. So it's a lot of benefits to the boot camp. Look, actually, I don't feel so bad now, guys. MU, same thing. You would have one or two parcels, and then we're right back up, and we're just not getting that continuation. And that's the tough part with this market. So we like volatility, but we do not like the market to be an indecision when it has this volatility. That's not great, right? Because it then doesn't move a certain way. So we're seeing a lot of sideways action. PLTR, the same thing. PLTR had a great drop though. Here, beautiful pop, nice, and then also a beautiful drop. If you took it from the previous day close rejection here or breakdown, this is a big move. But then my plays, right, VR breakout and 5-minute RB are clearly not present here at the moment. MU, choppy, Tesla, Messi, AMD, and Oxy. Oxy was a great short as far as just going lower slowly. Very low volume, just going lower and lower on that one. Let's go to our secondary list. Pins, BBY, nothing. Nvidia, sideways, and Battle L after incredible pre-market activity, almost 130 pre-market. It was up higher, all the way up here. I saw it like 130 at one point. It's just kind of doing some madness at the moment, so careful on that one. Hard to borrow, and it is sitting on the American Stock Exchange as well. We haven't talked much about Tesla today, have we? Choppy start and not looking to break the law of the day on Tesla. What do you guys like? Are you, more importantly, is anyone trading anything? Are you guys in anything at all? Please let me know the ticker, if you're long or short, and the price. I would love to see what you guys are doing because I have not been able to nail something against the wall here. So small loss on SC. Okay, yeah, SC was tough because it didn't really move well right now. And then the volume has died. Such a beautiful pre-market action, down 22%, 4.7 million shares trade. So everything looks good. And then the market opens and it turns into, garbage truck. It starts to garbage truck. I was going to say something else, but let's keep our theme, garbage truck. Took SPY and HIMS. Okay, very nice. Nothing for you yet, Richard. Yeah, it's that type of morning. It's pretty quiet. AMD, ORB down. AMD, okay, yep, breakdown right here. That's good. You still should have gotten a couple of parcels on this one. Maybe you're still in it. That's a deep pullback, but that was nice. So AMD is okay. What else we have? VSNT. That's a tough one. How do you trade this one? You short right now 179. No, sorry, you just VSNT. Nvidia, you're short 179. Very good. It's you're short at 179. Okay, just careful. Not telling you what to do, but just be careful. I mean, right now it could go either way, right? It can really go either way at the moment. So just follow the plan. Pre-market win on SNDK. That's where all the fun happened. Now it's just messy. Yeah, pre-market, you can see a little bit of a move there. Now SNDK is just barcoding at the moment. Luke is just gazing at his screen. You might have saved some money by doing that, so that's good. RCAT this morning. We had that on our gappers list today. Oh, wow. Look at RCAT go. So funny how the ones you think are not going to trade well, look at RCAT. You never know. Pre-market was just not great. But look at this thing trading right now. So nice. Like who? I mean, I guess there's people that fall for this. There's a few government agencies that will never text you and they will never call you. United States Post Office, and some other ones. It's one of them. So I just got a text. I got an urgent package. Click on this link. Sure. I'm definitely gonna do that. Like, come on. Microsoft falling with others. Oh, yeah, it's market's just waiting to see what's next. What's next? What is next? MU back above the VWAP here. Tesla also moving higher. And now that we got in the couple of minutes out of the way, now everything just starts doing what this guy does, the SPY, right? So everything just kind of falls into the overall market because they have no direction at the moment. So you're starting to see that a little bit, like on Tesla, PLTR not so much, but you're starting to see that, especially on a lot of the tech companies. AMD did break out 179. I know you were short 179. I'm not sure where your stop is, but doesn't mean it can go here. It might still come back lower, right? So you just don't know. Just don't know right now. All right, BAT L actually did break. Let me go look for that news. What was the news on this one that was halted for a couple of minutes earlier today? Let's take a look. BAT L news. Why did it get halted this morning? Let's see what we got. While we're putting that up, friends, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. I'm going to do the same because I haven't done that. So I just took the opportunity to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't done so, please do so. It helps us out a ton. So Battalion Oil Corporation to raise 15 million, approximately 15 million. Which what is this? This is like half an Andrew. Like it's like not even. This is like a fifth of Andrew. What? 15 million is not enough to halt a stock. What? The offering to close on March 4th. Blah blah blah. How big is this company? Yeah, I don't know. That might not be the news. I hope it's not. It doesn't seem like a lot. How do we get an opportunity to trade the funded account? Head over to tradingterminal.com. Right, head over to tradingterminal.com and you can sign up for the premium membership and also trade the funded account. So you can do that there. You also have an opportunity if you're a Lambos and Garbage Truck member to win a free funded account today and every day that we're live. So I'll do that giveaway a little bit later. But no, not yet, Brian. Not yet. No hashtag funded. Not yet. It's coming. But yeah, head over to Bear with Traders. Head over to tradingterminal.com. So tradingterminal.com. I'll type it in here. And all the information on how to join the funded accounts there. There it is. Brian is ready to go. All right, guys, I want to take a trade here, but I don't want to just take a trade just to take a trade. But I do want to trade. It's got to make sense, though. It's got to make sense. So let's see here. SE. MU is slowly going higher and higher here. It did kind of just get over the VWAP, not in a very clean fashion. Did have a nice pullback here. It's kind of trying. So let's see if it can hold this 387 level at least right now. Let's see if this prior resistance can become support. That'll be nice. Start heading towards that high of the day again, a high of the pre-market. So it's trying to do something here. Actually looks pretty decent. And you can still actually trade it. If you look at the 5-minute, you still have a 5-minute ORB right in here, right? So there's your 5-minute ORB off the body, right? So here's your 5-minute range right there. All right, so if you pull back, you can still trade it as a 5-minute ORB all the way up to an hour, right? So we talk about this in our education center. Up to an hour, you can trade this as a 5-minute ORB. Let's see if it can hold this area here. That's not looking good. That drop is very more aggressive than what I would like on the MU. Let's see if it can hold. Well, we are choppy, friends. Like if you don't believe you're in a choppy situation, just go over to a higher time frame. You can see here with MU, down, up, down, up. Like this overlapping doesn't create a nice trend, right? Trend and breakout. So, if you go to a bigger time frame, you could see that. Tesla a little bit better. Now getting a little bit choppy, a little bit better off the bell here. AMD getting back above the VWAP. Same thing, right? Up, down. You got a nice little continuation here, but the same thing, up and down, up and down. And that becomes tough. So let's see. We'll find something. Tesla towards the low of the day now. MU is holding at 357, at 387 MU. I just don't know if you have the juice to get higher. So let's see where the demand is, right? So one of the things that Atlas is going to do is give you a visual of the supply and demand. Mainly the demand. But let's see if how it looks for MU. Look at that, it's already dropping. I haven't even got to pull up the Atlas. You're already losing ground here. Yeah, see, we got big orders at 385 right now, 5,000 shares, which is a lot for MU. Yeah, doesn't look great. Yeah, Frank. Yeah, when you don't see something like on the time frame you're looking at, whether 1 minute or 2 minute, going to a bigger time frame is going to help. It's going to give you a clean picture, right? Especially now because we're getting to 10 o'clock, so you already have enough data, right? This is why we like to wait a little bit because we have enough data to determine, hey, what's happening, right? And when you're trading here, it's a little bit tougher. When you're trading in this zone right there, you don't have a whole lot of data. The higher time frame is not going to give you a whole lot. But now that we have all of this, yes, you should be able to see more information like we're seeing here. Just this is chop, guys. This is not easily tradable. Oh, Tesla broke down. We got a runner. The downside, Tesla's breaking down here, making a new low. Seems to be in a nice little trend. Even on the higher time frame, seems to want to head lower if it can continue here. Oh man, I want to trade. I want to do something. We only had one trade yesterday, and I don't want to leave today without a trade. AMD. Everything's just following the market. Everything's just following the SPY. Um, oh yeah, I did. No, I didn't get filled. I didn't get filled on MU. No, I didn't get filled. I hit the hotkey. I hit the wrong hotkey. Because for MU, I gotta manually type it in, then hit the hotkey. I hit the wrong hotkey. That's for my regular orders. Because MU, you gotta give it like $2 stop on MU, right? So you gotta take less shares. Like you could take 100 shares on MU, and do very well. You don't need a lot on MU. So when you have a $2 stop, if you can get $4 out of $5, you could do very well. So you can't be taking, a bunch of shares. I'll get you in trouble. Um, because I noticed a few times we traded MU successfully has been with a $2 stop. Because you got to give it room. If you trade it with like $1 stop, it's so easy to get stopped out. Yeah, Spy is playing games with us. Look at this. Spy is messing around. So he came dropping here. Now he wants to push back up. It just wants to stay within this range, and I get it. The Spy is not trying to sell off too aggressive. It's just trying to stick around, and that's affecting the way things move. Did Tesla pop up here? Yep, Tesla popped up. PLTR going sideways. I used to trade MUS6. Oh yeah, new user. Hey, you won the funded account a couple of days ago, I believe. All right, so hopefully that's going well. Nice, good. I got some more I got to send out today. We got Grace one a couple of days ago. We had one yesterday, so I'll send those out later today. No, I trade the actual stock. So what you're seeing right here is what I'm actually trading. So this is actually my trading platform, Interactive Brokers, and that's I'm trading the actual stock. I don't know how to trade options. I tried it. I did it with Interactive Brokers for a while, for like 6 months. Very very small, like just one contract at a time, and I can see the power in it. Like this is a lot of power in trading options. Even at a one contract, some of the wins were like $500. I'm like, it's only one contract. How can you make this much? And you could, so it's a lot of power in it. Buying power can be used more effectively, I think, but you got to know what you're doing. And I did not know what I was doing, so I'm like, I'm not gonna keep messing with this. Um, we didn't like lose money, but we didn't make a ton of money because we're trading very small. But there's some power to it. So if you want to learn the options, I think that can be helpful. All right, here it is. AMD is showing some weakness, guys. Here at 190, volume is increasing. Look at that. Oh, it's going the other way. So it just popped lower and then shot up all the way up here to 191. You sell options monthly, not to trade them. Nah, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I was doing them weekly though. I was doing through a thing where you do them weekly, like weekly expirations or something like that. Again, I'm not an expert. My terminology could be completely off. I was using interactive brokers. If you have interactive brokers, they have what's it called? Like a wizard, like an options wizard. So you tell, okay, what do you think is gonna happen with this stock? It's gonna go up. What do you think is gonna happen with this? It's gonna do this. By when do you want this to be done? By this date. And then they'll create the different options for you, and then you pick the one you want. So I was just doing that easy wizard thing there, and just buying one contract at a time. It's called the lab. Okay, yeah. So it's it's nice if you know what you're doing. It's really nice. So yeah, yep, exactly. The wheel is the easiest strategy. How many of you guys are doing both, trading options and actually, you know what? That could be the poll for today. Let me set that up. That could be the poll for today. Who's trading options? Who's trading equities only? Who's trading both? Let's do that. Let's set that up because obviously I ain't finding nothing to trade at the moment. Um, but it's okay because if we saw what happened yesterday, later in the day, we got a lot of opportunities, right? So I'm not rushing to waste all the ammo right now. Let's go ahead and get that going. Options only, okay. Yeah, options is pretty popular. Wow, Bat L continues to maintain here. Hasn't fallen off the face of the earth. It's still back and forth. Continues to hit 29.30. It's the high of the day and just still hasn't halted after this initial halt earlier today. So just kind of staying within the boundaries here and not losing a whole lot. Rudid, no, no. So there's separate things, right? So bearwoodtraders.com is our community, right, of members of traders live show, right? That's our community. Tradingterminal.com is our trading tools, right? They're separate memberships. That's our trading tools that gives your scanners and everything else, plus the funded account lives there. So when you join Trading Terminal premium membership, you have the option to you get all the tools that we have as far as trading tools, and then you also get the option to buy a funded account if you like, right? You don't have to, but you get the options to do that, and that's part of that. We do have videos there, though. We do have educational videos there. Nothing like our BBT stuff. BBT Bearwood Traders is like our education hub, right? That is where you learn how to trade. Like if you're a brand new trader, bearwoodtraders.com, that's our education hub. You're gonna learn a ton there from the community, the chat room, all that stuff, right? So it's two separate things. Have you traded today? No, Mally, haven't traded, man. Have you? Mally Media Sports. I have not traded today. And when I go back and look at what's going on, like there is no reason for me to trade. Like I have not had a good opportunity. The only one that we tried to trade and we fumbled the ball. We fumbled it on MU. We didn't get in because we hit the wrong hotkey. Was here. I was gonna go short here, but look how short-lived this was. Right, we fumbled the entry on this. We're gonna go in here for the VI breakdown. We could have gotten a partial, and that's probably not even. That's probably like a 1R and a half, if that, because our stop was gonna be way up here. As I mentioned, with MU, you got to give it a very wide stop, or else you're gonna get stopped out pretty easily. So a $2 stop on MU is not a big deal. And we're gonna look for the low of the day, right? That didn't quite happen. Came right back up, and again, we just keep doing this. Just keep hugging the VWAP on a lot of these tickers. PLTR, on the other hand, this one was nice, guys. If you're still short PLTR, this is still trending lower. Just made a new low 3 minutes ago. Keeps trending nicely low here, so that's good. Apple, yes, VWAP breakout with some volume. Let's see. Let's see what it does. Good call, guys. Apple does look interesting. Let's check. Let's check Atlas. We have the juice to continue. And you know, on a day like today, I also want to see the market moving higher. Unfortunately, we need the SPY. SPY is going lower. I don't like that. I wouldn't. I normally don't trade my strategy with such much weight on the SPY, but given how choppy things are, the SPY is gonna have a little more weight during this time, right? You gotta know your market conditions. So right now, this is beautiful, good pullback. If we can get up here and get the nice confirmation, that is your entry for the VI breakout the way I trade it. So great call out. It's not working out right now, but even if we get our confirmation here, if the SPY is not going up, at least changing right now, it's just here. If it's not going up the other way, that could be concerning. So here, SPY is trying to pull up a little bit. Oh, maybe this can happen. Hold on. Let's take a look. Maybe this can happen. Okay. SPY's trying. Give it $1. It's getting away from me. 263.69. That SPY did turn around. I didn't think the SPY was gonna bounce a little bit like this, and it is. I wasn't ready. Let's see. Okay, here's a pullback opportunity if we can get it. Wow. Come on. Come on, babe. Pull back. And Atlas actually does look good. Atlas doesn't look bad at all for Apple. But see, I don't like the SPY, guys. I really don't. It's just almost made a new low here. I don't like that. Yeah. I'm not comfortable with it, I'll be honest. I'm not comfortable. I think it's doing a great setup, but I just don't think you have the juice to push it higher, especially if the SPY is going to make a new low here. I don't think you're gonna get to where you need to. Well, not you, me, on my trade. So let's see. Now if the SPY goes the other way, it's a whole different story. What else looking up for you guys? A poll. Yes, let's do a poll. Friends, if you haven't done so already, we're sitting at an all-time low. Wow, look at that. Oh, Apple. Very nice. That just came out of nowhere. Beautiful. Good call, man. Who did this call? Who mentioned Apple? Caesar Rosario, 9802. Good call, man. Good call. Look at that. Yeah, I didn't trust it. I wasn't comfortable with it, but that's a great call. Hopefully you took it. Apple launched new book bags, like actual book bags? No. Back books? What is that? Back books. I don't know what that is. I'm not showing my screen. What do you mean? Oh, sorry. Here it is. Yeah, I guess I'm looking at both. I'm looking at both the SPY and Apple. But there's Apple. Yes, we do have Naya. We do have some traders that are range strategies. I'm not one of them. I'm a breakout trader. So on days like this, it's a little bit tougher because I'm looking for breakouts and the market is ranging. So, but we do have many traders that do trade ranges, you know. So we do have that. All right, let's take a look here. New MacBook Air. Yeah, I don't. Does that really make money? I don't think the Apple makes. I don't think the MacBooks are a really big driver for them. I don't. I mean, it's not like the phones, right? The phones, I think, it's their money maker. People line up for the phone. I got a Mac. We got two MacBook Pros here. They're older and they just work. We just bought one for my wife because it was from 2013. 2013. So it couldn't update anymore, so it was getting problems, whatever. So we just got it. So these things last forever. I don't think that really drives the Apple stock. Their phones and everything else, I think, is the big driver. And I bet it looks the same as the one before, right? Just another M chip, a different M chip, and it looks exactly the same. So they're not changing anything. All right. Let's see. Apple, very good. Tesla, MU, PLTR lower. Yeah. If you're a breakout trader, this is a tough time, which is okay. Hey, listen, we're gonna have great days and we're gonna have some tough days. This is a tough day for breakout traders, but just keep in mind we're not even an hour into the market open, right? And you know what happens. You come back a little bit later. If you go back and look at yesterday, you know, 10:30, 11 o'clock. You see these beautiful breakouts and continuations. So, you know, we just got to wait. But yeah, this is one of those days where a lot of the breakout plays are not paying off right now. On everything I'm watching, PLTR continues to sell off, guys. Continues to sell off. Your new low already, 140.16. I mean, just holding on to that 9 moving average and just going lower and lower. So that is great. But I'm not in that one. All right, let's do this. Let's do a poll. I want to see. I'm interested in this one actually. What do you trade? So we have options and equities. And we also have just options. I'm not gonna get into the detail like whether you day trade or whatever. You know, just keep it very general. See how it goes. All right, let's see how that does. SPY, little fake out and right back down. That's 672 where it's been holding. Let's see here. Yeah, Trade Hub, the heat map is all red. It is it's all red, you know. Friends, if you haven't done so, we're sitting at 261 likes, which is a bit on the low side. So if you can help us get to 400, that'd be awesome. That is usually our goal. It helps the channel a ton, helps the stream, helps our trading community here. So thank you so much for doing that. If you haven't had a chance to do that, please do so. We'll get that out of the way and get to our goal of 400. PLTR, new low, dropping, and things are going to feel a little pressure now. Looks like as the SPY makes a new low. Let's see, is there anything near the VWAP that can give us a good risk to reward for the way I trade? AMD, everything's kind of bending the knee to the overall market right now. Apple did get a nice little breakout, but you know it's probably gonna come back down to the VWAP as well. And we're off to the races here. Battle L continues to hold here. Made a new high recently here. 29.70 now. It's the new high on Battle L. Nvidia back down. Yeah, guys, it's rough out here, friends. It's rough. It is rough. ZD or Z for my Canadian friends. ZD, yeah. 71% up, continues higher this morning, making a new high here. Wow, that is nice. Not anything I would trade though, just very low volume. So nothing I would jump on, but very low volume. All right, 114 votes so far. Let's see. Yeah, 72% equities. Got a couple of people, 11% are doing options, and some are doing options only. 16%, that's a big number for this channel. So 60% of you guys are doing options only. So that's a big number. All right. Watergates are breaking here. Floodgates are breaking here. Look at this. It is dropping 670. And that's going to drag things lower. If you're sitting in a short right now, hopefully this thing's helping you. Fortunately, I'm not in anything, and I don't see anything near a good risk reward setup to join this part. I think AMD was there a little bit, but not quite. Oxy. Tesla, MU, PLTR, SC. Apple was above the VWAP. Apple might be the one that, if it can continue to see some weakness, might give us a good opportunity. So if you guys see anything near the VWAP, let me know. Nvidia, let's take a look. Nvidia, oh yeah, Nvidia's another one too. Nvidia's another one too that could actually be nice though. Although we got to be careful with this area. This area has been heavy support for Nvidia all morning. You can see that there. Yeah, a few times it dipped lower here. Let me show you guys the screen. A few times it dipped lower, but for the most part, this area here has been big support. So here'll be our signal. Yeah, let's go short. I'm going short Nvidia, guys. Stop 179. 179 is our stop. So let's go short Nvidia, and I hope this guy can continue to 170.50, because that's all we're doing. We're just following the SPY. We're not really trading on our own here. So I literally have the SPY right next to my Nvidia chart, and I just want the SPY to drop lower, because that's what Nvidia is going to do. Nvidia's not trading on its own at the moment. We do have our first target at 178 here, which is the low of the day. 177.99, 178 is the low of the day. So that's our first target. That'll give us just slightly above 1R. Going to be probably aggressive with the partials, because you just don't know when the SPY is going to turn around, and that's what we're trading really. We're just trading the SPY at this point. But good call, guys. I was looking for something. You guys saw me flip it. I was looking for something near the VWAP, and there was nothing near the VWAP. And you guys said Nvidia. I did have it on my secondary list, and it worked out perfect right at the VWAP. I love trading near the VWAP. It is so good. All right, come on, SPY. Drop lower so we can get our one partial here at 178. We need the SPY to flush, and things are going to go haywire to the downside. All right, friends. First trade of the day at 10:21. 10:21. First trade of the day. Come on. Here's the low of the day. New candle on the 1 minute. SPY is not going lower. SPY, please drop. There it is. It's dropping. Ah, no. Don't turn around. We might get a nice flush too. Like if we lose this 178, we might actually get like 177.80. Like we might actually get a real nice drop here. Okay, we're gonna get it because the SPY is pushing lower. 670 coming up on the SPY looks like. So we should get a drop here on Nvidia. Oh yeah, SPY's digging in. 178. We should get a nice drop here. Let's see. I don't see why not. There we go. Ah, I knew it. There it is. Partial here, friends. Every time I say I knew it, I think you know nothing, Jon Snow. What a great show. You know nothing. And it's true, we don't know nothing in the market. We just predict and guesstimate as best as we can with our strategies. All right, so partial here. That is a lot of red on the SPY. And if we can continue, we might be able to take another partial. What's the next level? Which again, we have our levels because they're important. But I'm really just looking at the SPY right now. There's a lot of weight on the SPY. Next technical level I see is probably going to be this one here. We might be on it right now, though. We're continuing to drop. Off this day, right over here, we got a spot. Then the big ones are down here, 176.11. That's the big levels. Again, it's all, oh, see, I don't like what the SPY is doing now. Why would you do that? If you look at the SPY, friends, you're getting this big old pullback on the SPY. Hopefully, if it drops here, it could be really good for us. If the SPY drops, but we might not get that. So let's see. Yeah, JC Trader, I have the Atlas over here as well for Nvidia. It does look good, but you know you got to know your situation, right? Our situation right now is that this is not trading on its own. You know, we could have the Atlas looking one way, but there's so much weight right now on the SPY, the overall market. I mean, just look at it. It is clearly doing exactly what the SPY is doing, right? So if the SPY doesn't drop here, we are going to probably get stopped out. And the order book does look good for sure, down to 76.25, 75.50. Got tons of orders down there. But I think the SPY is in command right now. You know, the SPY is driving this ship. This is good. This is really good. If we drop here, buyers start losing faith and bailing. That's what we need. That is what we need. Let's see. That might not come for us. Oh, maybe. I literally have both charts side by side here. Can I show you guys this? Show you what I look like, or what I look like, what I look at when I'm trading. So here you go. Here's my full screen. So I got the most important thing here, YouTube guys, right? YouTube, NX, got you guys right over here. And right now, I usually have NVIDIA 5 minute, 1 minute, and NVIDIA, whatever chart I have here, I have it here. But today, it's the SPY, because I feel like I'm just trading the SPY this morning, right? So we have our gap persist by trading terminal, a couple of tools here that we look at, our YouTube channel, all that fun stuff, which by the way, hit that like, 315. Let's get that a little bit higher. And then I got my watch list, primary and secondary, as you guys see here. And we got our montage. And then on this screen here, I have my Atlas, beautiful Atlas. You can see how bearish things look here at the moment. So let's hope we drop. And then on my other screen, we got our community, where I have Andrew, Brian doing their thing here. All right, can the SPY drop lower? Here's the question. Can we drop lower? I think yes, but I'll be honest, I'm getting a little impatient. I'm so close to getting a partial. Because if we don't push lower here, I think it's just going to shoot up very aggressive, and we're going to get stopped out. Thanks, Andrew. We got something. Finally, it took a while. Took a while, man, but we got something here. I'm probably gonna take a partial here, friends. Let's see. I'm trying to be patient. 178 is what's our low of our day here. So we're struggling with that area. Let's see if we can. Okay, SPY's making a new low, which is good for us. And it's not just Nvidia, right? Like if you look at Tesla, you look at some other ones, they're all selling down right now. Nvidia was just the best one for risk to reward for me. Tesla. Oh, sorry. Nvidia. Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna take a partial, guys. I am going to take a partial. Every time I say that, every time I say I'm going to take a partial, the stock moves lower. So it's kind of like wait, but every time I say I'm going to take a partial, it moves slow. So let me just keep saying I'm going to take a partial here. I'm going to take a partial here. If I could drive the price down to 177.66. Okay, there we go. Come on, get that momentum. See the ask coming in. You see Atlas showing the buyers selling pressure there. The demand down there at 175. Like, come on. Let's go pick up our friends down there. There it is. Okay, this is good. We're ready for a partial 177.81. Tons of ask there. Let's see if we can go through that. Oh, guys, you can't get better than this. Partial here. Beautiful. Beautiful partial here. And now let's see if the SPY's gonna move. Through that whole process, the SPY didn't actually move too much, right? It's just right there. So Nvidia is doing a little bit of its own work as it drops lower. And we got the 77.66. What is this? This must be some kind of daily level we put on here. Yeah, it must be. All right, so partial here. Let's see if it can continue. So, wow, nice, nice. This worked out pretty good, guys. Let's see if we can get some more on it. Thanks, T-Man. Yeah, it took a bit, right? But, patience paid off. We saved our ammo. We just didn't get any signals for us to actually take a trade on. So, no, I do 10%. I have both 10% and 20%. So, um, it depends. Like if the move is really big and I feel that there might be a big pullback coming. Oh, look at this candle is interesting here. See that? You know what? We're gonna get ready for another partial if we're gonna drop here. So if we get a really big move, I'm gonna take another partial, friends, just in case. Just in case, we're gonna take some off. Because the SPY is kind of moving the other way, and we don't want to bring a lot of shares back up. And I really don't want to go above. Like I don't want to go above 178.28. I'm not coming back to break even with all these shares. We're not gonna do that. 178.25. We'll take everything off here. There, we're still getting almost 30 cents. So I'm not bringing this back up. So 178.25. Or we could take some more off. We'll do that. We'll take some more off in case it wants to go back up, retest our entry, and come back down. I think that's a better idea. So here it is, 125. Yeah, let's take some more off. So I'm not around, but that's 20% there. And then we'll move our stop to break even. I think that's a better plan. And I'm glad I did that because look at the SPY pushing higher. And if we come back up here, I don't want to have no parts of it. Good. All right, see, that's good. We did good. Good decision processing there. So break even is our stop now. We're comfortable doing that because we're going to take a whole lot. Good. All right. Nice, guys. Good call, man. Good call. I don't remember who set the call in the chat, but thank you. Great spot on Nvidia. We were searching. The SPY started dropping. And look at the SPY go now, guys. So let's stay in character, as Andrew would say, and let's see this opportunity to go up now. Because reversals could be setting up. That's a big, nice candle from our good friend the SPY down here. So let's continue searching if opportunities are going to go the other way now. That's good. That's good. That's new news. Patel, is that new? Or overnight? So what is your decision to exit at break even? Basically, you're doing two things, right? First, there's something psychological about having a green trade, like having made money, no matter how much it is, whether it's $100 or $500 or $1,000, and then turning that green trade into a red one where you're giving the money back. That to me, it's tough. It's tough psychology wise, and it's tough on your pockets as well. More on the psychology part of it, I think, to be honest, right? Because you had it and you gave it away, right? There's nothing worse than you being up, 20 points in a game, and the other team comes back on you and beats you. That sucks. Now, if you got blown out, you got blown out. If it was a tight game, it's a tight game. That's fine. But you're up by 20, and you gave it back. They came back on you. That hurts, right? It could be you could lose the same amount of money, but that hurts because you had it, right? So that's all, protecting your mindset. So, but here, stop at break even. Stop at break even. And if you feel that, hey, this thing came back up to your entry. If you feel that at some point, let's say you were reading this and you say, hey, you know what? I think we might have an opportunity to go lower. Okay, guess what? Get back in. Lock in your profits. Let's say you got a winner. Lock in your profits. Get back in. Maybe you do half size this time. You can get back in here. There's no need to hold this into the red, right? And give money back. So, but the thought, you guys, as we're going through this, you kind of heard my thought process, and I'm kind of rambling a little bit as I'm saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm changing my mind back and forth. But it's the thought process that I will go through, even if I was in live with you guys, about, okay, let me take some off here. This is not looking good. Let me take some more off here. We'll leave the rest of break even, opposed to taking everything at 78.25, right? So you kind of heard that back and forth process. You'll have some of that decision making too as well when you start parceling and seeing new information. Every new candle is giving you new data that you're going to process, right? So that's part of it as well. And I like to trade like that. Other traders, they like to trade where it's all or nothing. They put it in, they 2 hours, they take everything off. There's less decision making in that process, and that could fit some type of people. I like doing this. What are we doing? Nvidia. Didn't you see I was short? Wow. Look at this, guys. Back at the low. And it's not the SPY causing it. Nvidia's just not happy. Wow, that's interesting. Nice. Again, you could have got back in here if you thought that, hey, this is gonna go lower. You could have jumped right in here and take advantage of this, right? So, yeah, so many ways to trade, guys, and we have so many different moderators in our community. Like if you go to our community, do the trial. $39 gets you in for a whole week, and look at all the different strategies from different people, all their different trade management that they have. Like Eamon does very different trade management than I do, right? But it works for him in the way he sees the market and the way he processes trades. So there's no right or wrong. I never want to see anyone say, oh, well, Carlos does this, I'm going to do it this way. No, try it this way, try it that way, try it the other way, and see which one best fits you as a trader, right? There's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. And your report card at the end of the day is whether you make money or not, and whether you make money consistently. That's your report card, really. It's not whether somebody says, oh, that's not a way to trade, or oh, you're leaving too much money on the table, or you should hold it all. No, that's not the way to trade. It's are you doing it consistently, and are you making money of it? And this is what the funded account does. The funded account is very different compared to like these other places where, and not that they're bad, where they have prop firms. Because the funded account, what you learn from it is, can you keep the money you make? Because yeah, anybody could go in there and make a couple of $1,000, no problem, and then cash out. But the funded account forces you to be there for 90 days, right? 3 months. You made money. Can you keep the money? Because when you have your own account, that's what's going to happen. You're going to make money. But a lot of you guys, myself included, when I first started, mom included in this too, we couldn't keep it. We couldn't keep the money. We gave it back. We gave it right back. And then some. So the funded account teaches you trade small. Take your time. You know, it's not about these big winners all at once at the beginning and then giving it all back. It's about maintaining good risk management, good rules that are you going to be able to survive and keep the money you make. That's what it comes down to. So the funded account forces you to think in that way, which is nice. It's nice. So it really gets you ready for live trading. Carson says you're struggling with that right now. Yeah, it changes your mentality. It really does. It changes your mentality on the way you think about trading and the way to trade, right? So yeah, I see that. Who called this? Medi, I see Apple. Yeah, we're getting above the VWAP here. Nice little breakout at the moment. I don't know. I'm not convinced on it just yet, but it did work here, at least for 1 hour, you know. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure on it. Let's see how it looks in a couple of minutes. We still got to get our confirmation here. Our entry signal is still not there yet. SPY is actually pushed up and hasn't moved much. AMD identical to the SPY. If you look at it, AMD looks exactly the same at the moment. Where's Nvidia? Nvidia, very interesting quick drop right back to 177.66. And this level, friends, is we went back, and where did we get this from? Okay, it's a daily level, so right over here, right over here, right over here. So a lot of touches on this 176.11. So very nice, very nice, very nice. All right, let's see what this does. And Oxy moving, guys. If you're watching Oxy, look at it go green here. So drop a bit, now heading into the green. These oil companies, energy companies are in play. They're going to be in play for a while. Look at it move up here now. Very nice. Battle Air is going to hit $30. Let's see. I keep saying Battle L. It's not Battle L. It's Bat L. But this reminds me of like the word battle, the way it's spelled out. It's going to hit 30. I don't know. You think it's going to hit $30? I don't know, man. It's looking rather weak here. But hey, look at the daily. The daily has been incredible on this thing, so we just don't know. So $4. This thing was at $4.18 last week. 18 cents. Like look at it go now here. So awesome. If stock goes down with the SPY, it will come back up with the SPY. Yeah, it could do that. Microsoft and Microsoft on fire. Yeah, so like a lot of you guys may mentioning Microsoft. Let me take a quick look on it. Microsoft here. So yeah, it's a good breakout. Good breakout of Microsoft. Very nice. Look at it go. It's a nice little move there. MU, not a whole lot. Nvidia. Wanted to go back and retest 177. AMD. SE. So yeah, we'll see. Right? T Noble's just holding out on the jokes. Let's see here. 100, Mr. David, 155 on X. I can't tell how many people are live on X, but thank you guys for joining us there. And I don't see likes on X. But yeah, we like streaming on X. Got a couple of friends there. And if you comment, I'll follow you because I only see a couple of people on here. I got Ben, I got Mr. David. I got Uncle D Trades. So if you're on X, comment and I'll follow you there as well. Atlas is telling me Tesla wants lower, but my mind is saying SPY is gonna rock it up. All right, so you have it conflicting data on a decision here. Let's go look at Tesla. Tesla here. Yeah, so what happens is, because that does happen to me, even before we had Atlas, we had situations where, okay, I have my criteria so I'm looking at, and then there's some things that are like, hey, these three are not lining up with what you think. You just got to have different weight for stuff, right? Not always everything's going to line up the way you want it, but you got to have different weight for certain things. So, for example, Atlas has this amount of weight. The SPY has this amount of weight. This has this amount of weight. And then sometimes when you get enough, that makes sense to take the trade. But if a lot of it is weighing on the other side, even regardless of what you think, don't take the trade, right? So you got to have those kind of things. Not everything's going to line up perfectly every time. I have noticed that. But for example, like I don't put a lot of weight on the SPY overall. So the SPY is just pretty flat. I put more weight on Atlas. I put more weight on the price action is king. Price action should have a lot of weight, right? Levels, VWAP, I put a lot of weight on that, and the pattern you're trading. Like, what's the pattern you're trading? That should have a certain, like, think of a pie chart and different weight that you have. In situations like today, the SPY has a little more weight because just the sensitivity of the market right now, right? So if the SPY is trending in one direction heavy, you want to add more weight on things of this type of market. But right now, Tesla, it's breaking down pretty aggressive, even without the SPY moving much, so and now SPY starting to actually sell off, so that's going to fuel Tesla to go lower. So Atlas, in this case, Atlas was right. Atlas says it wants to go lower, and it is going lower. So Atlas is yeah, Atlas is a good tool, man. It's the demand, showing you where the demand is on, and the supply gonna show up and go there. So TOS is a good platform. It is. I had TOS for years, even before trading on Dash Trader Pro. It's a great platform for what they do. But I still use them for swing trading, long-term stuff. They're awesome, but for day trading, the way my strategies are, I try using Dash to save the 150 a month, especially when I first started. When you first start, that's a big chunk of change to give out, especially when you're losing money. But it wasn't worth the 150 to save that to what I was not getting with Dash Trader Pro. But it all depends on your strategy. Some strategies will work well with Thinkorswim, right? So, and any other platforms, right? So doesn't matter what platform you're using, as long as you're able to do your strategy very well with it. At BBT, we're not specific DAS. You can learn any of our strategies and trade them in whatever platform you're trading, right? Webull's a popular one. I know people like Webull. They like what's the other one I hear a lot? Is Webull? Actually, what platforms are you guys using? If you're not using, what platforms are you guys using? Put it in chat. I would love to hear the names. Is it TradeStation? I hear a lot of you guys use TradeStation. As long as the platform can support what you're doing, eTrader Pro. Okay, there you go. Thinkorswim, TradingView, Webull, TOS. TOS is very popular. TOS had a big has a big following. That's how they merged with Schwab. They bought that off. TOS, yeah, TOS, Thinkorswim, Fidelity, TWS. Okay, using TWS, Frank? Like, are you actually using TWS, the actual trader workstation? Ah, a lot of TWS people. Okay, nice. All right, all right. IBKR. IBKR desktop has gotten a lot better. I still don't love it, but has gotten better. But when they first started, it was like, whoa, this is garbage. But it has gotten much better. So they're working on it because they need something. TWS is so archaic, it's so old. But it's a award-winning platform. But I think the desktop one, they're trying to make it more user-friendly. TWS is very powerful, very powerful. But the desktop one is more user-friendly, which I think is trying to go for that look. I don't mix my cash and cash account and margin. Okay, very good. It's a good strategy. Good strategy. Nice. Hey, Andrew. Nice. Andrew in chat. Very good. No, Jamie, no. TWS is very good, man. It is a powerful website. I know a couple of traders. I know one moderator that used to use it. And he loved it, man. But the learning curve is high. It's really high. But it's a powerful platform, man. Now for the way we trade, again, it all comes down to how you trade. What's your strategy? But they could definitely use a nice upgrade. They really could. They really could. All right. Yeah, is Peter in chat? How did Peter do? Lightspeed is very similar to DAS. It's another direct access platform, very good as well. What you're gonna notice is this, and I don't want to give too many lectures today, but that's a great question. What you're gonna notice is this: you have your free platforms, right? You have your free platforms. You have your mid-tier platforms, which are usually your wet base platform, and then you have your pro platform. Dash Trader, TWS, all these other platforms that are not free tend to fall within that pro. That mid tier, you have a couple that that are okay, and then you have your free ones that, again, when you have something free, there's something you're not getting, right? You pay for what you get. I strongly believe that. Lightspeed falls into this pro platform. They're another direct access platform too, so they're very good. From what I heard, other people using, I don't use it myself. Very similar to Dash Trader Pro. But again, now you're getting to that pro area, which is what we do with Dash Trader Pro. Once you start going pro, there's a cost to it, right? Yeah. But Lightspeed is really good. So, just like Dash. Very similar to Dash.
Yo, Carlos.
My friend, how are you?
I'm great. I am great. Just back here. Didn't end up getting any trades. Once again. Live
it was a tough day.
No trades.
Yeah,
Look, I was very happy to stay out of trouble. I had a couple of setups that I was looking at. We talked them through with all our friends over at P Capital, as we do as part of that training activity. And yeah, I mean, look, I stayed out of trouble. I didn't suffer the losses. I saw you got a short on Nvidia, so that was
good. Yeah, nice short Nvidia here. Which I'm surprised after this pullback. Look how much lower it's going now. It is really dropping nicely. But it's a tough day for us breakout traders. This is not an easy day. So again, we just got to be more patient.
Mm.
We got to be more patient and just wait. Like our first trade, Peter, was at 10:20 today. And we were like actively
Yeah,
searching. Like we were searching, my friend. We were like going
yeah,
through everything, scanning,
yeah.
and that's what
Oh,
it
I
is.
know.
So yeah, yep.
It's
Um, did we give the funded account away? No, we have not given a funded account away yet. So you are on time. But you're not just showing up now, right? You logged in earlier, said good morning and all that good stuff. And right, hit the
yeah.
like,
Tell
you
him you've
did
been
all.
here for a while. Yep.
Right. SPY friends. Pushing lower here. I would love it if Andy decides to sell Atlas separately, not bundle it in the future. Let's see what happens. Anything's possible. We're in the very early stages of trading terminal as far as bundling. Andrew doesn't like piecemealing things, right? He likes one price for everything. That's it. You know, because then it gets very salesly, a little slimy. Like, oh, charge you for this and charge you for that and charge you for this. Oh, you want that? Charge you for that. Oh, you want a red button instead of a yellow one? I charge you for that. You know, it could get a little. He doesn't like that. But you know, I could see the request why people will want just that product. It is an amazing product. So maybe he'll do that in
Right.
the future, right? But he's got to do a lot of changing in the back end and the way things get charged. So nice and simple right now, but in the future, maybe in the future. Um, well, because futures is data, right? So futures data is different, right? So when you have extra for data, that's different, right? So he pays per user. So not a lot of people use futures. They don't need it. Like I'm not paying for futures. I don't need it. So that's different, right? That's like an add-on. But maybe in the future he could do that. So I think I did hear him mention something like that, but later down the line, I think he actually told you guys here when he was live that he'll possibly do that in the future.
Mm.
Did I talk to Andrew about trade of the week? No, I did not. And we had a long meeting yesterday, a great meeting yesterday. But we have to talk about that. Yeah, he'll do it. Andrew's up to doing a lot of things. It's just who's gonna do the extra work? Who's gonna track everything? It's a lot of work on the back end. You'd be surprised. It might seem like very simple. Oh, it's a great idea. Yeah, who's gonna track everything and then post it and this and that? So, um, uh, yeah, yeah. So yeah, who's gonna track it, right?
Zooming who?
Mm-hmm. Nope, you have not missed a funded account yet, friends. We will do it short. It's 10:52. Yes, we'll do it shortly. You'll do it for 90K a year. I'm not paying you 90K a year to track a spreadsheet. Oh, Chris, what's going on here? Eh? I got to give you one of these. What's happening? What do you think this is? No. I can have AI do that. Oh boy, that was a new generation comment. Yeah, I'll do it for 9,000 a year. Uh, Chris, good stuff. All right, friends. Nvidia might go lower here. SPY did pop up, but slowly losing momentum again to the downside. How the guys do, Peter? And anybody take a trade? How did they do? Did
Yeah,
they?
Chris. I gotta say, Chris, who was in the live trading with me, did he actually took a short on the Qs and a great short on PLTR. He got short PLTR at 143.50.
Mm,
Was able to ride it all the way down and
yeah.
just got out of the trade actually when it started to bounce back just before I rejoined you here. So he actually played that
Okay.
very well. It was a great trade. So yeah, it's good to see some of our boot camp traders, right? Sort of
Mm-hmm.
getting some good opportunities.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Friends, we're sitting at 362. Peter's back, so let's give Peter some thumbs up, friends. Let's get to 400.
Yeah, give me a thumbs up.
Let's get to 400. We're missing just 38 more to do that. So that'll be awesome. Help us there, and we really appreciate it. Just 40 more likes, and we hit our goal. And then Thor's up next with you guys. We'll be coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Be a good time. AMD going lower. And also
Yeah, Tesla,
Nvidia.
AMD's a bit more.
Nvidia's good too. All right, let's do this. Let's get the funded account ready. Let's start that. Not yet. Hold on, let me
Tesla's
turn it on.
retesting the lows here.
Uh, Tesla. Yes. Yep. I think in this case, all the most of Magnificent Seven are going to push the stock down. Like they're selling down first. They're going to push the SPY lower. You know how you guys always ask which one comes
Right.
first, the SPY or the stock? I think the stocks are going to drag it because they're all just the big ones at least are heading lower here. Um, let's do hashtag funded account, friends. And now it's on. We'll give it a minute here. If you want to join the Lambos and Garbage Truck family, not only do you get access to this giveaway, but you also get access to educational videos that we have on BBT BBT channel as well. So you can go there, see some educational videos, and you get a couple of perks available on YouTube. So take advantage of that. It's like $5 a month. Helps you support the channel and also be part of our amazing Lambos and Garbage Truck community. All right, they're coming in nice and heavy there. Good job, guys. Funded. Hashtag funded. PLTR. PLTR was a great short, Peter. You're right. This thing from the VWAP just kept going lower and lower and lower all the way to 1030. That is when the market did a little spike. At 1030, the market pushed up. 1031, you got a big candle on the SPY. And I think that's what kind of moved PLTR higher. But they were in a real nice downtrend here. All right, and
Buy
there we
another one
are.
of these.
Wonder what? What you buying?
I was just debating whether my monitor has gone on sale, my portable monitor. Just debating whether I buy another one. These are like really cheap. They're like $80. And it's
Yep.
great. 16-inch monitor. It's
Can't
you
beat
can't
that.
see me. It works great. What's it? We're doing hashtag funded today.
Yes, hashtag funded friends. There it is, 119 entries. So let's do this. And here we go. So hashtag funded. Our winner for today is going to be 321 goes to trader_gal. So trader gal, you are the winner. Congratulations. Email me, carlos@bearbetraders.com, and we will get you all set up. I forgot to do
Trader
hashtag funded.
Gal. I'm gonna go Trader Gal.
Yeah. I forgot to do hashtag funded. The ladies, the ladies are winning. We
That's
had
good.
we had Grace win last week. We had Elisa won like yesterday. Man, the ladies are they cracking the code, man. I don't know what they're doing, but they're winning heavy. So that's good. That's good. All right, friends. Bias algorithm. I don't think the algo knows. The algo does not know who is who. They just pick names out of the box.
I don't know. Yeah, we don't know how it picks its random name,
Yeah,
but
and it doesn't pick me or Peter. We know that for sure. Uh,
well,
it
let's
doesn't.
face it. In random chance, it just hasn't come up yet. So that's the way
Yeah,
it goes.
so it is. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. We are all set. I see Thor. Thor, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. Can't complain.
So,
So
looking
your
at a little bit of a
beautiful, your
long here
beautiful,
on the
your beautiful setup you sent. In fact, let me share with you guys. I'm gonna share this. Is still there?
oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm
it's
gonna
actually a cool
share.
looking setup,
It's a
eh?
very
It
good
looks very
setup. Yeah, I
cool.
like that. Very clean.
Why, thank you.
Very clean.
So you're saying, and Thor, you're saying this is just now your setup. Period. Full stop. You're using it whether
Yep.
you're at home or on the road or wherever.
Yeah, exactly. So it's got
That's
three
good.
monitors to it, but those monitors fold up into a little like brick about that big that slides into my backpack. So now when I'm traveling and doing like money show or trading at home or at a hotel, or because I like to travel a lot these days, so now I have something. I got tired of having to rebuild, like update one thing, and then I got like four different computers I have to update, it seems like, to get everything
Right.
right. So
Nice.
Yeah,
so now I'm
Yeah.
always home, no matter where I'm trading.
Show the other picture, Carlos, because there you go. That looks cool
yeah.
with the lights. Do you carry the lights with you and stuff too?
I mean, they actually do fold up, but I don't carry those with me
Okay.
normally, but they do fold up like they could be carried, like if I
Yeah,
had
I
a
can see
Right.
small
that.
case.
Mm.
Okay. It looks like little spider lights and stuff.
Yeah.
It makes me think of that. Have you ever seen that
Try
scorpion chair
I'm
where it's
just
all
trying to not be
incorporated
too
into the
shiny,
chair?
so uh
That's
yeah,
That's
no, the
good, man.
scorpion share is cool. But thank you. It's pretty cool,
That's good.
right?
Yeah, when
nice.
I saw it, I'm like, you got four monitors. If these were regular monitors, the amount of cables flying everywhere, you know. But this is clean.
Yeah, and there's no cables. No cables because the monitors are all connected within the thing that folds up, whatever you call
Yeah.
that.
Oh, very nice, man. Very nice. All right, friends. Peter and I are disconnecting. Have a great rest of your trading day here with Thor. Thor, we'll let you take it away.
Absolutely. Good to see everybody out there and what's going on. So I am long on some NQ here off of S6. I actually got long a little bit earlier with my stop below low of day. So I'm looking for a bounce here back to S4 is the play I'm looking for. So we will keep an eye on that and see what it happens. So I'll have to look up the brand of the monitors. And I knew before I showed this to everybody, I should have been prepared with that information ahead of time. So I'll look it up for tomorrow. And then I'll tell you what it is tomorrow because I can't see it anywhere. It doesn't like properly display it. But um, so the all three monitors connect to my laptop with one cable. So one C cable, which is really cool. It's got its own like graphics system. I mean, they weren't like super cheap, but I feel like for three monitors, they weren't crazy expensive either. So it ran me, I think it ran me around like 650 for for all three monitors with with the all of the stuff. And then right now it's just hooked up to my Mac. So the only thing I'm having trouble now with is my Mac is hurting a little bit on the performance, especially while I'm running Atlas. So I might have to a new laptop maybe in my future, pun intended. So I really liked cues for a buy today. I just knew it was going to take a while. So at the open, we kind of opened with a pretty strong buy. And when we got sell volume, we stuffed, and then we kind of gently offered down to the lows over the course of like a couple of hours. So once we kind of got back into light buying and consolidated for a little bit, when the buying started again, it looked like a really nice spot to get long. So the trade here is an S6 long. Now you are looking at some good news. There has been a major release update to the Camaria pivot plays. And that is the new S6 play. So the S6 play, which has been was really hot in February, enough for me to actually detail it and put it out. So would have really helped a lot. So this is can be used on a narrow or a wide range in higher or lower inversions. So the S6 buy is always a good time. So we're the target on a wider range S6 buy is a movement back to high of day, or S4 in this instance is what our target would be. And yeah, so we have buying, we have S6, we have a call, so it's a party. Also on the new update, I've removed some of the noise. This is a Dr. V idea. So we've gotten rid of the let all of the like numbers and stuff that's in here. So you just get a triangle pointed in the direction of the position. Your stop box is highlighted. and then it will draw your maximum expected target, which in this instance would be a movement all the way back to CP. Since this is a wider range, though, I'm just going to go for S4. Because the range is so wide. Oh, man, here we go. That's a bit of a pop, huh? So I'm going to go ahead and move my... I took one stop trying to get in this earlier. So I'm going to make sure I make some money on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and... So let me show you my screen that I'm trading on. So you can see here, I tried a long off of S6 when it held it really well, but we were still selling just a little bit. But it looked like we were offering and we made the new 1 minute high. So I went ahead and took that one. But then I took a stop out on it and lost about $500 on the position. So, and then when we came down, we moved. And when we switched into buying there, I saw the buying come through on the tape and we made the new high. I went ahead and got back long at S6 again, this time stop below low of day. Again, whenever I get in, my stop's always below low of day. So you can see there. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring my stop up to here. That way, either way, I'll cover my $500 loss, and I'll still make myself like $1,000. And then we'll have some fun on this one. So it's not always about winning. It's just about losing small and then trying to make as much as you can if you win. But if this makes it all the way to S4, this could be a really nice position off the new S6 play today. But see how well the S6 call worked on NQ, huh? Look at that. I mean, either way, this thing's moving, right? We're already I risked about $1,000 on this entry, so we're already at about 7R. Oh, we just exhausted a bit. Let's see if this thing goes. Look at how beautiful that call was. The brand new Camarilla pivot play, S6 longs. Yeah, baby. We're all the way back above the open price in a second. That's why we wait for the S6 buy. You see how much easier you could have been short all day, like for an hour and a half grinding, and then in a few minutes, whap, all the way back up. Right? So that's what we're talking about. That's good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up, and I'm going to go right here. I'm not going to be willing to lose any more than that level. So what I'm doing is when I'm trailing, I'm going to trail major levels. So I don't want to, where we've bought out from here, we should not need to go back in and retest this. If we do, it's just going to be a total loss of momentum. So if we're getting a big squeeze right now, this is going to be very aggressive. So if it comes back too much, it just means we're done. And I'm just going to take the money and we'll call it a day. But as you can see, so far, so good. So lost about $500, right? So far up, we're not up anything, right? So far we're up about $4,000, right? But let's see what we get today. I would not, because we exhausted our buy here, I would not be super surprised that we get a little bit of a pullback. So and we're going right back into these highs, right? But if we can buy these highs, we're going to pop. It'll be fun. So this is my personally developed indicator. This is the Camarilla pivot plays. So my Instagram's probably the best place to find info, at Thor Young MA. I got links and stuff. This call, by the way, came into the Bear Bull Traders chat room live. We called the NQ bottom. We called about 5 bottoms on other things. We also just called a Tesla bottom. Let's see if that worked. Look at that. Tesla right off of S6. Right? Tesla. Let's see. Robinhood. Oh my God. Talk to me, Goose. It was an approaching. It never got all the way there. So we didn't approach it. Let's see. How about AMD? AMD overshot its call a little bit, so not so great AMD. Thank you for being a jerk. But Tesla, beautiful. All right, so we exhausted quite a bit. So I have kind of a rule I'm entertaining, which is the idea of just killing it if it exhausts, and then makes like a new 5-minute low or something like that. So that would actually be a loss of monthly support 3. But right now I'm just gonna hang a little bit for a second because this is really, I'm up really good money right now. So there's no reason to choke this position. This is a lot of buying. So, and if we start buying here on NQ, we can have one heck of a squeeze, which is what I was talking about earlier today. But I don't want to get greedy. So we'll make sure we at least get paid if this thing loses momentum and comes back down too much. I mean, that's still going to be a few grand today. And I copy trade, right? So this trade is also being sent across, I have multiple trading accounts. So this is actually being mirrored in a small plethora of other accounts at the same time. So this is actually, this will be a nice, no matter how this one closes out today, my day is amazing. But if we get the S4 run on this bad boy, it's going to be a good one. They run on TradingView. X is at Thor Young. So for me, Dom, I like copying into multiples versus putting all of my money into one bag. The reason too is because I've been trading for almost a decade now, and there's always broker issues. Like brokers are always changing their minds on like sometimes they're not open, like they have like a technical issue. So I like having multiple brokers to play with anyway. But then I like to I really like to, how do I say this right? For me, it's not necessarily so much about mentality, but like instead of having like a $2 million account, I'd rather have like four $300,000 accounts, right? Or $200,000 accounts. Because then when I there's not as much for me, I'm making more, but I don't the the leverage works a little bit better. So there's a few different things I like about it, but I think for me it makes me feel more comfortable. You know what I mean? Like I feel better. Like even right now, yeah, I use Replicanto actually. So through Ninja, and I use Ninja Brokerage as one of my brokerages. So, but I think for me it makes it a little easier right now because like right now, if I looked at this and thought of this as like a $40,000 position instead of a $7,000 position. It just changes the mentality for me a little bit. And I know I talk to you people about this, but you guys don't understand this sometimes. But I grew up in a trailer. You know what I mean? I grew up in Woodruff, South Carolina, in the middle of the woods on the edge of a hog farm in a small trailer. Like I can make, with day trading, there are days where I have made more money in one day than like four of my family members put together would have likely made in like an annual. You know what I mean? So it's a lot actually. And so when I start seeing the bigger numbers in there, it really changes things a lot for me. It's, even to a little self-sabotage sometimes I'll see it and just be like, man, it's crazy. You know what I mean? So, all right. So with this, I think I'm happy here. So I'm going to go ahead and come right here under monthly support 3. Now that I see some uptick coming into the market. So I don't, so either way now we probably make like 5. So, but I'm going to give myself a chance. Maybe we get ourselves this. I mean, this could be a really big trade. Only need one a month. That's what the way I trade, I'm just really looking for like one big trade. You know, I'll trade every day, but I get lots of small wins and small losses, but I'm always giving myself the potential to hit that big trade because it only has to hit one time. And when it does, you can make a lot of money on it, right? So I'm very, very patient in my trading style, right? So just waiting for, you know, I waited till I saw this was a little early. We had really lovely response, and I liked how weak the selling was as we went into it. But this entry here was just perfect. I mean, because we got the big buyer response, the buying, my buying and selling detector sees us going into buying. Even had a nice re-offer here to the level you could have hit and threw your stop below low of day. I mean, it was pretty. This was a really lovely call today. Woo. I needed a good one though, man. I tell you what, was February dry for anybody else? February was pretty dry for me. I had one or two really strong trades in the beginning of the month that basically made my month. And then I spent the back half of the month kind of like, okay, like, can we like get something going? Yeah, you know, so I'll pull up a monthly chart here for a second, but like look at this is the reason why. Like look at the month. Look at how small the movement has been over the past few months, right? I mean, that's pretty weak sauce. So, but we're still buying overall. So we'll see what happens. But that's pretty weak sauce. Oh man. I like where I'm sitting at here. Like at this point, if we sell, it would be likely to reoffer the open, and they should buy the open. Are we above? No, we're not at high of day yet. If we lose the open, we'd lose trend, but I don't want to get too close. Again, this is like one of those tough decisions because you don't want to smother it. I only trade on TradingView. I don't use Ninja to trade. I use Ninja because it runs my replicator, but I don't trade with Ninja. Not that I have any issue with trading on Ninja. It's actually a very lovely platform. Wow, we're really cooking right now. A lot of people are going to short ahead of, are going to look for, I mean, we had a lot of like, if we get up here, this is nice. A 10 grand trade right now would be like a 10 to 1 on my risk. I only risked a grand to get into this trade. Well, and then 500 that I lost. We're starting to struggle a little bit here, but so far so good. It just looks healthy. All right, are we having fun yet? Likes, subscribes, shares? I mean, we're having a pretty good time here. Showing you guys a pretty serious trade, right? We're really maxed out here. So, I mean, but it's still looking strong. So maybe we could, yeah, what a squeeze. We're gonna probably get a sell here in a minute. So just be ready for it. NT buddy, what's up, dude? The S6, man. It happened. So I got stopped on my first entry. I put it right below the cam. So I went out so I could get, it was pretty low risk. And then I tried again at the high, and I'm still holding this one. All right, the question is, when should I get out of this thing if I'm gonna get out? We're testing the trend now. Whatever. It was almost a 10K here. But right now our volume is still very much on the buy side. So, and I mean, we're really overclocking though. So there's a chance we're just going to run out of buyers. And we're coming right up into we went right into the, where we closed our opening candle. So it's not surprising we're going to get a little pullback there, but we shouldn't lose the open price. So I'm going to let this thing go. Currently trying micro. I love micros, Domini. I'm trying trading minis right now. So yours are going to trade at 1/10 the size of mine. So if you're holding two contracts of micros, and you had the same stop as me, you would have risked maybe $150, 150 bucks, and you would be up around 800 to a grand right now. Wow. I mean, we really are maxing out. Oh well, we hold. Either way, I mean, it's just a great day. I'm so happy. I really needed a good fight, because again, this one day is going to make basically my entire month, even with the loss. Tesla, let's look at it. Oh my God. What a lovely S6 on Tesla. So my stop on Tesla, so there's two ways to do the stop. You can use the stop box, which is like a calculated off of ATR in the range. So you can stick your stop below that low just to give yourself breathing room, like an intraday swing. If you want to be tighter, then I throw it below low of day like I did on NQ. So like if you tried it right here, you would have got stopped out. And then when it came back in and offered it again, you would have gotten in and thrown your stop below the low of day and you would have hit that one. And for like a 4-hour target, that's a no-brainer. Look at that. Beautiful calls. Yay. I've spent all month detailing and last month and this month all detailing out all of the new S6 play and in which inversions we can use them and how we can use them. So that's really exciting, right? So I'm loving seeing, like, we just released these plays today and look how well they're doing. And this is because of the new range expansions, right? We're looking to take advantage, right, of that expansion, because our ranges had narrowed so much, our sixth level started coming into play. Wee. Okay. So what do you think? Do we just take this bad boy at 10K and call it a happy day? Or do we just sit in it? So here's what we do. Let's compromise. I'm going to go ahead and pull my stop up, and I'm going to come right in here underneath this consolidation. If it fails and comes back down there, we'll still make good money. Look at that. I really don't have I'm already over my target right now. I would like to have made 4 grand on this, right? So, but I don't take trades based upon money targets. So for me, the target is the level, right? So I'd like to get back to, I'd like to go to R4. So that is the play. It's S6 to R4. So that's that, or S6 to S4, sorry. So that's where we're gonna go to. Hopefully we'll go obliterate the high. And when we take out the high, will get me. But at this point, because I'm doing so well on this one, I'm not going to be willing to let this one come all the way back down, right? So this is, I mean, we are cooking in volume right now. Like this is very high level buying. Like we are so extreme right now. This is awesome. But this also means we have a very high probability that we could have a very aggressive, right? We could have a very aggressive reversal, right? Like we could exhaust here and immediately tank, right? So we got to be really careful. Target for me is a movement back to the cam level S4. So I think the idea here is they're going to go blow out high of day, and in the process of blowing out high of day. But it might be one of those things where again, I'm already at profit, so I go for it. And worst case scenario, we go out here. Fun. No, yeah, I got it a little bit in front of the level. Right now, so the real spot to be if you wanted some fill priority is just go ahead and stick it in front of high of day. You know what I mean? There's a very decent chance we run into high of day and then scare off of it, right? Because we did make a new low. Oh, no, we did not. Oh my goodness. Does this fit the IB stat for long? Wow. So we made our low of day before 10:30. Just barely? That's wild. At Thor Young on X. And follow me on X because every day on my X, if you notice, I every morning I put like a little bit of a little blast on X of what I'm seeing in the cams. Like this morning, I said market moving lower on a wide range today. Big bids below us. We'll be looking for those perma bulls to step in near S6 on the indexes. Hope everyone has a great trading day. So I mean, I put that up 30 minutes before the market opened. So, and if you go back through those over the past few weeks, I didn't do many while I was at Money Show because I was just too busy. Today's the day. We got it. We got a good one today. $10K is not my biggest single winner, by the way. So I did think about having a vanity play on it just to say we got 10R on it. I mean, that's the thing though, like what's the expectation? You know what I mean? And how do you gauge that? I've always found that so challenging, right? Because there are days where they run for like well over 10 Rs, right? So it's like, but you're not going to hit those very often. But when you hit them, if you allow yourself to hit them, you can do pretty amazing. All right, so we're exhausting here quite a bit. We're struggling here. See, we're like right under this isolated pivot here. So this is exactly where I'd expect us to get hung up a little bit. We could offer all the way back to the open here. So again, this is why I'm going to make sure I still make like 7 or 8 grand on this thing. If this drops down, I'll still make some decent money, but it shouldn't come back through this low. And I'm just playing the price levels here. Like if we have to come back down and sweep that low, things are not looking good. So and certainly that's good enough for me to go ahead and get out. Because then we would have, a big offer back to the open. If anything, I could get out, see if it bounces around a little bit, then I could get back in for the rest of the move if that happens. Like if this is a real transition, and I want you guys to kind of like, think about this, like it's called if it goes, it goes, right? If this is a real transition that's really moving and we're doing a big reversal, you'll see NQ and ES do this. They run all day, right? They just keep on ripping. They really don't give big pullbacks. And that's the idea, right? So if this thing makes too big of a pullback, especially, there's a difference too, right? Like if you're trading $50 risk trying to make $400, well, then hold, right? It doesn't matter. You're talking about the difference between 400 and 350. You're not talking about the difference between 10 grand and 5 grand, right? Like that's a big difference, right? But again, we don't want to smother the position, but at the same time, we have to make sure we're not giving back, any incredible amount of money. But right now, I'm very happy with saying like I make like 6 or 7 grand today across and mirrored, right? So it ends up being a lovely day. Man, I got the S6 move on SPY. Let's look at SPY. SPY overshot it really wide. But I mean, if you got long back there again, it would have been worthy. Ah, we're see what I mean about the seller? There we go. That's fun. See, I mean, it's just where I would expect to find a seller. So it might have been a nice thing just to take the 10K on this one. No, Shiki, I suck at adding. So as you can see, I have one in, one out. Like I'm just really not, I'm just not very good at it with adding positions. I'd rather just make the money I'm going to make on these things and call it done. So I just play. So you can see here we had a premium level. Look what right here. So see this high before we dipped and then we bought it and then wick, 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 and then bought it. That's a price that we bought through. And we should not need to go underneath those wicks to get more liquidity. If we do, it's just, it's just too deep for me. Like I said, I still want to make sure I get some good money out of this one. So we're going to get out of this position here in just a second, it looks like. Unless those wicks hold. And then we'll call it a great day. Like I said, I still wanted to make like 7 grand on this one. So either way, I still make 7 to 1. Right? I liked the volume better on NQ for this. Like it just looked better. I liked how it started buying at the open and then gently offered down to the level. And I'll show you that in a second. Let's watch this thing go out. So here's a perfect moment of truth. So if this comes up and makes a new high, we could buy right now and keep on going. This could be a continuation, right? Because it should not go, like I said, I showed you kind of where to find that premium level. You can see these candles here where it bought and then it came down and offered, right? Once we've bought that, we just really shouldn't go much lower than that at all, right? We should not lose these wicks. So you can see we're working off of the top side of this order now. Let me get a little closer maybe. See, we're working on the top side of whatever orders right here. So if we go through them, it's just too much. We'll just get out of this thing. And we're out. Yay. So now we'll see what happens. Like the thing is, you just can only give back so much, right? But because we've exhausted and now we're making new significant lows, right? It's just time to take this position. I mean, could it make the rest of the run to my target? Yeah, and there's actually a good chance that it might, like statistically, right? But for me, I'm not going to get back in now because I don't have the range advantage, right? So we just got a really nice move. So we actually ended up being about 7,500. I lost 500 on the original entry, so 7 grand across the board in all of my accounts. That's what I'm talking about. So beautiful day. Very, very happy. I'm here, over here. We don't need both of you on there now. My screens are being silly. There we go. Ah, ha, ha. Look at it go. That's fun. Thank you. I do. Take a screenshot. Uh-oh. Yeah, plug my thing. Yes, I accidentally had unkicked my laptop wire. So the reason I liked going out of this trade also, by the way, I'll pull it back up. I actually really like being out of this position. I should have just taken it at the 10K. But I'm still working on some exit strategies around because I didn't always trade this large of a size. So I'm still working on some of my system. But so since we had exhaustive volume, like we had a lot of volume, I really feel very comfortable about having exited this position. Because it's just again, it was just now if I look at the candles, it actually looked like we were absorbing the sells. So I feel pretty good. But again, right? So no, I do not partial. So that's something I do a little bit differently than most. I do one in, one out, and that's about it. That's exciting. Yes, it also applies to R6. We're still just so much buying. I mean, it's great. It's just not, yeah. This is one of those ones where in the long run I'll come back and see this and be like, okay, I'm happy because you'll see, we'll probably go back and offer the open at some point. And it's just not worth it to give back that much money in order to see if it makes it to its target. So 7R, you know what I mean, on my entry or 7.5 actually is just an amazing day, right? Especially since you consider, the amount of leverage I had behind it. So with my other accounts. So that's very exciting. Yay. I love it. Mm-mm-mm. So I have multiple accounts because I don't like so there's a couple of reasons. One, I do have a couple of funded accounts that I utilize. So it's easier to have to deal with things like trailing thresholds and activity, like activity stuff and all that, like all the rules. So I started off with actually using a lot of fun with using funded accounts. Now I really don't use very many funded accounts. I have live accounts now. So I have two live accounts that I'm trading with, and then I have my personal IBKR, plus I have my Ninja brokerage, and then I still have a couple of other fundeds. So I can copy into all of them at the same time. So I only have to focus on the one trade that I'm taking and managing the risk on that singular trade. And then the replicator handles getting everything into all the other accounts, right? Because not all of my funded accounts are with the same brokers. Not all of my personal accounts are with the same brokers. So I don't like, I've always been kind of weird with this, I guess maybe. I don't like to put all my eggs in one basket, because there's often issues with situations like either a broker stops routing that day, or you have like some kind of a rule thing on like a funded. So it's all kinds of wild stuff there. So for me, and then for me again, I've said this before, for me when I trade, because for me, the amount of money I'm trading actually still is quite a bit of money. It actually helps me a little bit with my mentality just to be able to trade, you know, well, and focus on that. So, but I'm sure in time, I want to do an interview with Andrew, actually. I think this would be a really fun interview. I mean, I know he kind of interested or said something about it before, where it said that he kind of gamifies things to kind of help him kind of deal with the fact that he's trading such significant risk. So, uh no, you can't connect IB with Tradevit. Those are different brokerages. But you can connect them both into Replicanto, which is a replicator that I use to send orders to both at the same time. So what happens is I use my Tradevit, or live. I use my Tradevit account. I also have a Tradevit brokerage regular, right? So and then that sends the order into across the control panel in Ninja, and then Ninja, when it sees the order, fires. When you say you're looking at volume, is that bookmap ATR volume candles on trading via? So when I say volume, I'm talking about VPA, which is this guy right here. This is my buying and selling detector that I've designed. And so like right now, one of the reasons why I'm out of this position is because we've overclocked our buyers. And with this much buy volume having come in already, I don't believe we'll have enough buy volume to go into a breakout. And since this is a higher, wider range, I'm close enough to it to say, since we had lost the uptrend and we had maxed out our buyers, that I'm going to go ahead and take this one off. This is actually a new rule that I'm starting in March. So if I've exhausted my buyers and I lose, basically lose the major level, then I'm going to go ahead and go out and take my profit. So, and it works off. It works very, very nicely. Just to make sure I get, especially when I'm trading, again, the higher dollar amounts like this. Again, I'm playing a slightly different game this year than I was even at the beginning of last year, right? The beginning of last year. And this is the thing when I'm talking about, everybody. Can I maybe talk about this for a second? Please make sure you're paying attention to the process, not the profit, because the profit comes together amazingly fast. Like I noticed with Andrew, this happened for him. He went from trading like maybe a few $100 risk to $200 risk to all of a sudden the dude was crazy risk, right? I noticed the same thing happened with Avi and a couple of others. Dr. V is normally on Wednesdays, not Tuesdays. But this is kind of the same thing for me. Only 1 year ago, a year and a half ago, not even 1 year. No, no, partialing does not reduce emotions. Following your trading plan reduces emotions. Partialing does not. Partialing just makes you feel good for no reason. I highly disagree with partialing in any way. It's certainly, here we go. God, here comes the volume. It's gonna go up and hit it. I really don't agree with partialing at all. And the reason why, and this is my personal, warning disclaimer. This is my personal trading style. I don't, partialing dilutes your position, right? For me, I would rather get in and get out, right? Because what's going to happen is every time you take half off your position needs to go twice as far to make the same amount of money if you would have just left it alone, right? And so partialing is really just kind of it's a scalper's method mentality. And if you are going to scalp, then partial, right? But then don't hold, right? You just go 1, 2, 3 out, right? Half, half, half out, right? Because you're scalping. Don't, there's no point. Like if you're, make it like, let's say you take a $500 position in AMD. AMD goes long, you're up about 2R, and which means you have 1,000 in the tank. You take half off, you have $500 worth of positioning left. That 500 now needs to get to 4R in distance in order for it to be another $1,000, right? So, but if you take half off at 3R, well, now you've got to get to like 6 or 7R before you're going to get the same amount, right? So it just doesn't make sense to dilute your position when it's moving in the direction you want it to go in, right? So, but if you have a really large bank account, then that absolutely makes sense, right? Like if you got a really big, strong account, right, where you can make, so I'll try and math it the best I can. Math not strong. Let's say as a day trader, you're going for, everyone in here actually, oh, there's the S4. We did it today. What a good call. Oh, I'm so happy with this thing. So I love seeing the new plays come out today and instantly have a success. Oh my gosh. Great. Um, um, think of it more this way. Imagine you are, let's say you have a $25,000 account or a $30,000 account. Your ultimate goal out of that account would probably be 1% a day, right? So on a $30,000 account, you'd maybe hope to make 300 bucks a day, right? So if you're trying to make, I don't know about most of you, but with a $30,000 account, most of you probably can't live on $300 a day, right? Because $300 a day, you could get a really nice job working at a decent restaurant and make $300 a day. Dadgummit, NT, we did it, man. I should have just left this one on. This was the one, but I followed my rules for getting out for March, and of course the dang thing turns into a 12G trade on me. But whatever, we made good money. So, but 300's good, right? But it's you can get a job working at a very expensive restaurant, and you making $100 per table, and you're taking 10 tables a night. You know what I mean? So it totally happens, right? So I want to make like $1,000 a day, maybe even more. And so if you're looking at, let's say you're risking $300, you need a 4R unobstructed target, right? You need a 4R unobstructed target in order to make enough money to qualify that. But if you're risking 1%, right, and you take a $300 trade and you immediately take half off at 2R, right? Well, you can kind of see where you're not gonna make the money you need per day, and that doesn't include your losers, right? So the focus here is if you're looking to make like $1,000 or $2,000 a day, you really need to have a very large account, and especially if you're going to be partialing. If you're going to be partialing, you need a massive account, because like most large accounts, like when you see most of the online guys that are out there with like, $5 million, $8 million accounts, they're making so much money P&L wise when you look at them, but they're not actually making a lot of money RVR wise, right? They actually are probably averaging like 0.1% or maybe even 0.5% of their total account, and they're risking significantly more than that. I mean, a large account's anything over $500,000 to $1 million dollars for a retailer is pretty darn big, right? So I mean, like a couple of my accounts I trade on are quite large. You know what I mean? I can risk $1,000 right now without that being 1% of my account, right? So, and that's important, right? Because you need to be able to go through drawdowns, you need to be able to go through lots of stuff. So, but the thing is your expectation on how much you're going to make from day to day, right? Like your expectation needs to be appropriate for your day to day. So you want to make sure you're really like focused in on that. When you're a smaller trader, keep in mind that you're just going to focus on the system itself. Um, Thor, for your system, what is the win rate we can realistically achieve to aim for? 40 to 60% is the generic win rate across the board. So some plays are slightly better than others. NT, did you get the S6 long on this thing? This was it, man. All the way back to S4 target hit. It would have been so sweet. Which one? Gold? Oh, wow. Yeah. Look at them bounce on gold off of monthly support 3. Jeez. That's fun. And look, you had exhaustion too on the sell. There was too much selling. So you had the bounce there and exhaustion. It goes into buying right here. We start buying and coming back up. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, so with the system, Ashish, I used my system for 4 years doing 4-to-1s and found it quite profitable. Man, that's fun. Got it, man. What a move. I'm so happy. All right, let's get this off my screen. Tesla, look at the S6 on Tesla was really pretty. Definitely enough space there for a 4R. Nice, NT. Did you I didn't see. Yeah, yeah, all the way to S4. Oh, I just saw it, NT. NT's one of my mentees with me and Dr. V. Oh, dude, that's the one. That's what we're talking about, buddy. That's what we're talking about. Yay, I'm so happy. Good hold, baller. Oh, that's so fun. Tesla, let's look at Tesla's book. Tesla's still buying very well. It just exhausted. Oh, its order book's bearish though. Tesla, I wouldn't let Tesla go too much lower. I'd cut it. Since you already exhausted your buyers and you actually have a relatively bearish order book, we could drop here. So I wouldn't get too diamond-handed. NQ still looks like just like a gas, man. This thing is just going. I'm so happy. How did it get me, man? Just under that freaking order, right back to the top. Maybe I should have used that structure is just a little off. But again, if I was holding like only one or two like micros, I would have just held because it wouldn't have made that big of a difference. But on these freaking big contracts, just couldn't let it dip any more than that. That kind of stinks though, because that would have been it would have been a pretty picture. but I'm happy with the money. Oh, Dominique, thanks for hanging out, Dominique. You want which one? SNDK? SNDK, when it called, we were selling way too. We had healthy selling going on, so it wasn't all long yet when it called. And then it bounced here. It actually became a long more around here. But by then it was fairly high in the position, but it wasn't a long till much later. So yeah, not the world's greatest call on that one. Position right, opening position right, all those things are good. But you have to remember too, the S6 plays are very versatile, so they're going to call a lot. Get rid of a lot of tickers. There we go. Well, so the new alert system. So everybody, let me talk to the cam traders right now, kind of a little bit about that. So we had a major update that came out on the Camaria pivots. The first one is the R6 and S6 play add-ins that were so gorgeous today. I'm so happy. Another big one is the alerts have changed. So we now have 3 different types of alerts: candidates, approaching, and evaluate. Right? So what that means is at the open, any ticker that meets the criteria for a possible cam play at the open will automatically alert for you. So this can be a little overwhelming if you have a big watch list, because like today we opened every S6 play, right, is on the table with that opening position. So there were a lot of alerts right at the open because every ticker offered an S6 play potentially at the open. Right? So that's something that can be a little bit overwhelming, is that we have that. Now, when we get near the cam level, like we start approaching it, we get close enough, there is a new alert called the approaching alert, which which kind of gives you a little bit of a heads up that you're getting near. So for instance, on like QQQ or on NQ here, you can see where we drew the line right there. When we started drawing the line, that's when we started saying, hey, we're approaching. Right? So there was an alert that came out that said we're approaching. And then when we got down and hit the line, it actually drew the box, right? And then sends the evaluation alert for you to take a look at it. And you can see here, we did a perfect little double bottom right off of S6 while buying, by the way, completely lined up. Good stuff, right? Sweet. So, couple of ways to learn with me, right? So main way is right here on this YouTube. You can come by here. I'm every single day. I'm here from 11 to 12 unless I'm traveling or otherwise busy. So the green box is an entry box, an exit box. You don't want to be inside. You want to be inside the green box when you get in, and ideally your stop wants to be in the lower outside the exit box if possible, just to give you an idea of the expectation for range so you don't get too tight. So if you want to work with me more, like see some of my learning materials and stuff like that in a more generalized group environment, then there's Bear Bull Traders. I live trade Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays while season is in for boot camp with the boot campers, which is always a lot of fun, which is peak capital trading. And then I have my own private mentoring that I do, which you can find information on that on my Instagram at ThorYoungMA. I have my own private mentoring that I do with Dr. Vanessa Charland, and which is helping traders on a more personal level. And you can, I have a calendar there for one-on-ones, or you can see my group stuff. So I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you so much for coming by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the fun trades that we got in for you, some good ones. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Much love you all. Talk to you soon. Keep it green.